Okay, totally. So, is everyone ready?
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Okay, so hello everyone. This is the Movement Busted Dark Elf Tomo here, and I'm being joined by the chief editor of Underpitch magazine, Crusader. Say hello.
Hello.
And the Kid Chaos Dwarf, Liam Colston. Say hello.
Hey everyone.
And this is your
Movement
Big
busted.
O Season 6 preview team. And yes, I am movement busted. I am very movement busted at the minute. So,
Oh man, good to hear you back though. I think everyone can agree to that.
yeah, it's
been
good
too
to be
long.
back. I just want to give a big shout out to everyone with that whole 4 Tomo thing, where I was keeping track of that on my phone in my hospital bed, you know. That was really fucking cool from you guys. Sorry, that's my one swear for the thing. But anyway, we've got a lot to get through, so let's jump straight into Division 3. And the first team is... Oh, we'll let Liam talk about this. The first team I see on the list is the Emperor Says.
Oh well, this is my team. I re-rolled and I'm finally coming to the Big O. So yeah, the Emperor says 4 games of spinning, and yeah, I named my team after quotes from the Emperor. So you got "Let the hate flow through you." That's the Bull Centaurs, and then you got your prequel quotes, the Hobgoblins, and your original trilogy quotes are the Chorfs.
The actual good pieces.
Yeah. So yeah, they've actually done all right because my Bull Centaurs have done really well because I actually haven't lost with this team, which I was surprised to do. Sniping all the REL coaches during the spins, but not that I would try and look for
Easy
less
games.
superior teammates. No, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, they actually have done quite well. I think Flow 3U's got 2 MVPs. So I've been trying to score with him, as you can see. Yeah, he's got 2 MVPs and 4 injuries inflicted, which actually is pretty... No, that's injuries. 0 Kaz, so yeah. He's just got 2
So
MVPs and all his touchdowns.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. Other dude's got a couple touchdowns and injuries. But yeah, it's sort of annoying because I just looked at the whole state of Div 3, and as you're going to see as we look through this recap, Div 3 is very, very bashy, and so taking Mighty Blow on the Chaos Dwarf blockers probably isn't the best choice first, but, you know, it's alright.
No, you've got blocks, so like Mighty Blow should be fine.
Yeah.
What would you take? What would you take instead of Mighty Blow?
God.
Just guard, because Lizardmen really suck when you got to play against
fair
them.
enough. All that strength 4.
Yep, there are 3 Lizardmen teams, so they're going to really suck to play against. But yeah, since the Bull Centaurs both have break tackle first, it's not as bad because, of course, they can actually move around, which is nice.
So, any predictions on who on your team is going to perform well this season? I mean, obviously, your Bull Centaurs are key to your plans.
Well, yeah, they actually set up quite nicely. I've been pretty happy. Just the division isn't the division I was hoping for. Of course, you want to be in with all the elves.
The division you wanted. It's the division you deserve.
This is not the division I was looking for, but yeah, it should be pretty all right, and especially with the Bull Centaurs off to a great start, really. And the Chaos Dwarf blockers have a fair amount of development. I haven't actually scored any TDs with my Hobgoblins, so I've been pretty happy with that.
They're just going to get, I imagine, Dirty Player and be happy with that, right?
Yeah, one's going to get block sure hands, and the rest will just be Dirty Player, pretty much.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pretty standard for a Chorf team.
Okay, yeah.
So do we want to move on to Poopy Smells?
Yeah, we can do. Is that the next team, Poopy Smells?
Yeah, coached by Brain on Slugs.
This team's
How
scary.
This team is going places.
Oh no, that was them there.
Was that sorry, Tom?
Right, okay, I got them.
Yeah. This team is going places. It's a Nurgle team that has neglected to take the Beast of Nurgle as its one of its first choices, but that has opened up the way for 3 Pestigores and the 4 Chaos Warriors, which I don't mind at all. And when you consider that Rectal Rapture has got Mighty Blow, Rectal Torture has Block, and Rectal Rupture has a plus Strength, so it'll be Strength 5 on the Blitz. They're looking pretty nice. And then you've got Claw and Docking Dicks, and Chode has Block. So it's a team that's coming along quite nicely.
Yeah, awesome. I really like the
team...
plus strength Pestigore. Like, you can do so many
That's
things
so
with that.
good.
You can turn them into, like, an elite blitzer, or you can use them as, like, a strength 4 ball carrier. You know, so many really, really, really good things. And, you know, personally, everyone knows I don't like big guys. I think starting without the Beast is correct. You can just get so much more, like... You got a lot more punch in this team. Like, it's just a lot more efficient overall than having, like, a big beast that doesn't really do much. And you can have your 3 rerolls starting. I love this start so much.
Like, I think in a division where there are 3 lizardmen and you've got orcs and whatnot floating around, the beast not being picked first is not such a terrible idea, because like Tentacle really does lock down a lot of the lower strength teams. But I mean, it is also a massive piece which your opponent just can't ignore. So be interesting to see how this team goes.
I like a beast, but in this division I wouldn't take one. Because it is so bashy, and he just becomes less useful compared to your Nurgle Warriors and that Pestigore. That's a strength 5 blitz there, so it's like a big guy blitz. Really, it's really cool.
But I think the thing is though, like with strength 4 on a Pestigore, when you go to as you go to strength 5 on a blitz, are you sort of like pigeonholing Rectal Rupture into being the blitzer? It says to me that I want to be blitzing with this guy every turn, like every time I get a chance, just because I am strength 5. If he picks up Mighty Blow or picks up Claw at a later date, he becomes even more sort of the dedicated blitzer of the team.
See, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually keeps him as a ball carrier. See, I think I'd rather have strength 4 as a ball carrier and another player doing something else.
I've extolled, like last season, especially during the playoffs and the Open Invitational, extolled the virtues of the plus strength ball carrier, because if your opponent forgets about it, they go, okay, it's a casual 2 dice, so suddenly it's 1 die or red dice against them. It's like, what?
Well, especially if this becomes like Pubanasti's thrower. That thing's just such a pain, because not only are you going to get beaten to a pulp, which is what Nurgle teams eventually start to do to you, that they're going to be so hard to take the ball off, which is just awesome.
Lycus and Mirascardo in chat are saying that 1 lizard team dropped out, so it's only 2 lizards in this division. So,
yes, I mean,
do we think we should just keep moving on here?
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at Brain on Slug's spins. I can never tell which way the arrows are going on it, but it looks like he was.
The arrows are that game's currently in progress to Eric and Poopy Smells by the looks of it.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, I believe that's a current in progress game.
Alright, okay. Anyway, yeah, let's
No, it's got
move
to
on.
finish because it does have what's it called? Oh, maybe it's because it's got a replay. Actually, that's what it is. The others don't have replays able to be viewed. Yeah.
So, the next team is, of course, Yasmir's Masters of Div 1. And Yasmir's a coach that I'm quite familiar with, because he always seems to snipe me about 8:15 whenever I'm streaming every night. But so he's got kind of like standard chaos team kind of start. He's got his 2 bull centaurs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, all 6 chaos dwarf blockers, 3 hobos. He's got his 3 rerolls and an apo. 1 hobo's got dodge, the peacock, which is a little kind of but
yeah, I don't mind it.
It's good once he gets block and then sure hand, so you can try pick up with the bull centaur, and then if you fail, you got a safe option.
Yeah,
with the hobgob.
The extra movement on a Marker, I don't know how keen I am on, especially like a first skill. I think like block or break tackle, especially break tackle, would have give you more movement, kind of like more usable movement, rather than just kind of like the 1 point. But I love the fact that Walkathon on this team has actually managed to roll doubles for Claw early on. He's in a position where he can kind of, sit there and be like, okay, this is going to be my elite blitzer guy, and then everyone else can just go guard and just have like a really super strong, solid team. So I think Yasmir is looking really, really good at the minute.
Yeah, it's a team that looks like it's progressing nicely.
See, hopefully, the thing about Yasmir is Yasmir's team's more of a future build right now than mine. I don't have any claw, don't have the plus movement. I actually rolled plus movement on one of my bull centaurs, but I went, I know, because it really is awesome later in development, but I bet he's a bit annoyed that he after seeing what the divisions look like, because that movement probably wouldn't be as helpful as break tackle, but it certainly will be good. And it's just like, I hope if I get him first round, I think I can probably win because of my double break tackle and block on the bull centaurs. Whereas if I get this team rounds later, he's got claw, I don't. That's scary for me. So
you've heard it here first. Liam laying down the smack against Yasmir, saying, "If I come up against you early, I'm going to beat you with break tackle."
I want to play him early because his team's going to be much scarier late. So lots of potential here.
Yeah, certainly the movement up on Walker is a sign that he's looking towards the future. I think, like as you say, like a safe, quote unquote, safe choice is break tackle early on. But like movement early, break tackle if he's playing break tackle next, not too bad. I'm a little worried about the agility busted dude, but whatever.
Yeah, the movement actually makes one turns.
Yeah,
makes one turns much better actually, because you have to get 4 chain pushes against a with only 6 movement and sprint, which is so much harder because it means that you have to actually either use frenzy or have one of their players like pushed over the lines. You have to push one of your players over their side in addition to the person that you're trying to score with. So that could be really handy for 1-turn attempts.
But we got to keep rolling along. We got time here to go through every team. So
let's
long
keep
episode
going.
Today.
Next one is
to Eric.
There it is.
Camry,
I am so happy that someone has decided to roll Camry. Peacock, well done, man. It's not a bad little build either. He's not got like too many skills going on at the moment, but he's picked up Mighty Blow on a Blitzer, which is great. Dirty Player on a Skeleton. And it looks like Leader on Earl Williams Douglas, the Thrower.
Actually, what's really notable is all that SPP on the Tomb Guardians. That's really nice, that. So if any of them get an MVP, close. They level, which is great.
Yeah, well, casualty on 3 of them gets them a level. William II of England, if he gets the MVP, he levels. Has got the 3 team rerolls as well, and he's sitting on 100k in the bank, so he's done quite well, Peacock, with this team, by the looks of it. Managed to get a draw out of Poopy Smells, and then, 2 wins on the other 2 spin games, only losing once against Dimension C-137.
Yep.
So, I like where this team's heading. The Skeletons have got a little more SPP than you kind of would hope for. But, Dirty Player, get some guard and whatnot, they become pretty decent pieces. Blitzer with Mighty Blow is always entertaining. So expect big things from this team. I love
really solid. Yeah, just having big guys running around hitting things. Yeah, great to watch anyway. I'm not too keen playing against them, but that's fine. I don't have to. We'll be looking to probably pick up a Weather Dome as soon as humanly possible as well, because Camry in the Rain is just not a team you want to play. Playing against Camry in the Rain, you're happy. As long as you've got like Agility 3, if not 4, you're okay. But Camry do not like that rain. So, but yeah, I'd also consider picking up another Throw Ra. I do like having 2 Throw Ras, like all the positionals on the field. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice team. Doesn't need any more players other than possibly a thrower, as Crusaders said. Yeah, it's going to just slowly get guard and Mighty Blow and Dirty Player and get really scary.
Yeah, more sure hands on the pitch is always good. But look, there are some people out there who don't particularly rate the 2 Throw Ra team. But I'm a bit of a fan of it. I like when you're not leaving things up to chance, as it were. It says this about a game of Blood Bowl. And like Throw Ra is just a little more reliable at picking up the ball and moving it around. So I like to see a second one. But yeah, the Weather Dome is certainly something that I see being necessary real quick. And like 4 rerolls, 3 from the actual team plus leader. So plenty of rerolls to go around for this team. So yeah, I actually kind of expect big things from this team.
Yeah, the thing that's noticeable to me about this team is he's actually already got 13 players. I'd be interested to hear if you guys think 13 is kind of necessary with a team like this, since he has like the full AV 9 guys and the Blitzras are AV 8. Yes, okay, Skeletons are AV 7.
I don't think you want to be putting a throw route on the pitch on your defensive drive.
Oh, right.
Like you don't expect to with Kemri. I don't think you really expect to sort of snap the ball free and then recover it. I think it's more about grinding them out. The 2-1 grind is probably where you're at. So, and a throw ra, he's a bit of a target. He's like your most reliable ball carrier. So that said, I mean, like leader's so good.
Okay, awesome.
Larkis is saying he expects this team to bow, and I agree.
I didn't turn my follow notification off. I know I forgot something. Thank you, whoever that was.
Luminous light.
Anyway, next.
Hey, it's the Super Bowl winner who we just pretend didn't happen.
Hey, let's be honest. The next edition of Underpitch, one of the articles is definitely called "Results from Last Season: Who Won? Who Cares?" So, Yeah,
secretly we love you, Lumi, but we just can't say it on air,
Yeah, Morka didn't win, so we don't care. Rats of the Ancient, Atomic Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb with another Skaven team. After his last one that was based off Star Wars characters, I think it was. Yeah, this looks like a decent start, I think. He's got his 2 Storm Vermin. They're only a couple of hits away from getting their levels up and starting to be turned into, well, whatever you're going to do with them. I'm a big fan of Killer Storm Vermin over God Storm Vermin, but, he's got...
Actually like his progression on his gutter runners is quite nice too.
Yeah. Like, I talk about this all the time when I come up and I talk about, like, Skaven teams, but, like, I always think you want to be thinking about early on, what job you want each gutter runner to do. So, for example, getting, like, a wrestle gutter runner first, kind of signifies, okay, this guy's going to be my ball sacker. Having a blodge guy, okay, this guy's going to be either a marker or a ball carrier or something. And then you've got, like, the 2 heads guy, just to kind of, like, run around and make a nuisance of himself or whatever. Like, I really like that type of thing. And as long as you start thinking early about what everything is going to do, I think...
Yeah, absolutely.
And also,
I think
Meepo number 4 with kick. A lot of people are kind of, like a hit and miss with kick. Some people like it, some people don't. Especially on Skaven, I'm a big fan of kick because you can use it just to exploit your speed so much. And of course, Big O coaches are no strange to blitz calls on the, kickoff events. So I think taking maximum advantage of that is just so good.
Yeah, no, kick really shines when you have high movement and higher agility. So like gutter runners love kick. And like going back to the gutter runners, I think like you say it's important to start thinking about the roles for certain players when you have like multiple of the same positional. And I think Skaven in particular with the gutter runner, having 4 gutter runners, you could make them into 4 ball carriers, but you're losing like a versatility from the player. Like a lot of new people will see strength 2 and they go, no, they're no good at taking the ball. They're no good at sacking. They're no good at doing this. But if you start thinking early about the plan that you have for them, you start getting the SPP because they will score quite quickly. And then you can start molding them into the positional players that you want. I think it's something that a lot of new players sort of overlook. So it's very important to sort of plan out your team before you start like making roles and things like that.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a bit unlucky, actually, with the 2 MVPs falling on that lineman with kick. A bit surprised to not see a little more development from this team. Atomic Caleb would seem to have been playing them pretty safely during his spins. So we'll see how they go. Obviously, he didn't want anyone to die, which is good. And it means that he's been able to build up 13 players, which for Skaven means you can throw line rats at the wall all day and not have to worry.
Do you think the next purchase for this team is a Rat Ogre?
No.
No, don't do
No,
it.
a red herring rat ogre. I like the rat ogre. I must admit.
No, your storm vermin should be your like elite blitzes for me. I think the rat ogre is just a big waste of TV. It's okay. So when the rat ogre's great, it's amazing. But like more often than not, he's not great, and then you just get yourself into trouble with him. So I'm just a huge fan of just focusing on your storm vermin and developing your storm vermin and not having any kind of SPP that would have been on your storm vermin going on to a rat ogre instead.
Yeah, that's pretty much same as me. I like my storm vermin a lot, and gutter runners are lots of fun, and you don't want to waste too much TV. So
Yeah, look, it's all big guys are sort of, I don't want to say controversial, but yeah, they're fairly divisive, aren't they? Really?
yeah, it's sort of annoying that they aren't a little better, considering that they they are in the fluff sound awesome, and you have stuff like Morgenthau running around, but alas.
Tommy Caleb, what have you linked me now in chat?
Anyway, if we're gonna keep moving,
Yeah, who's next?
it's Gold,
Goldie Wharfs,
which is a dwarf team.
as the name would suggest, and it's coached by Julian. Names I can't pronounce.
It's probably Julian, yeah.
Anyone
An
to tell me?
interesting team.
Okay.
The blitzer with dodge, you gotta be pretty happy with that, as well as a movement
Runner.
Yeah, movement runner and a guard on the other blitzer. That's pretty nice. This team looks like they've done well.
Yeah, there's not a great deal of progression. I mean, you got three players who have leveled up and managed to basically take up all the SPP. But you've got a runner, you got a Longbeard who's one SPP away from leveling. Goldigger, the Troll Slayer, also one SPP away from leveling. And then I think dwarves, they fairly standard progression really. They start a bit slow, but once they start rolling along, things just fall into place because dwarves, at least from my experience, have a very sort of standard progression. You want guard, and you want skills to beat people to death. So,
Yep, they're pretty good. And they'll be happy
what else do you say?
They'll be happy with choosing guard over Mighty Blow. As I said earlier, you could say it's a mistake from me because it's going to be so bashy. There will be a bit of a guard arms war, really.
Yeah, learn from Liam's mistakes, people. Learn from Liam.
Yeah.
But no, I expect that this dwarf team should have, it'll do what dwarves do. They don't typically lose big, but they don't typically win big either. But they certainly seem to gain enough SPP to keep themselves happy. I mean, look at Lark's team, for example. That's a team that, progression-wise, has done quite well. So.
Yeah, you have to remember as well that with dwarves, if you're a bit of like a pixel hugger at heart, because of the AV9 with only a few guys having AV yet, your dwarves are gonna stick around. Your team's not really in danger of just self-destructing like what some of the AV7 teams can be sometimes. So it's always super good for you guys that like to just kind of sit and kind of build your team over time and play something like dwarves.
I like all the names are just dollar related.
Yeah.
Schmeckles.
But anyway, so the next team is Perfecto, a Lizardman team.
Someone will have to tell us which Lizardman team dropped out, though. So no dollar do in the Big O. I know, Reese. It brings great shame. Larkus and Mariscado, if you know which Lizardman team dropped out and you can let us know, that'd be fantastic. This Lizardman team, though, looks like it's been through the ringer. They've got an MNG on their Croxigore. They've got a what looks to be a Niggle on a Saurus.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely not had a good time.
And only one skill up on a Skink, being Sure Feet. If I had to guess, I'd say this is the team that dropped, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Oh, it's not too bad, really. There's a nice spread actually on the
The SPP is spread out, yeah.
Saurus, which you got to be happy with. Like, looking at the rest of the teams, Lizards are quite a nice team. Of course, they're really good against your Chorfs, and they're pretty good against Dwarves as well and Orcs early. So it's not as much of a worry, just as long as you aren't rolling rubbish. So I would expect to see the third reroll bought with the money he currently has. But yeah, they look all right.
Reese is saying that Perfecto has one more spin game. So the M&G on the Crocs, you wear that through your spin game, happy days. The Crocs did level up and got guard. I don't like this is now saying he's used spins. His first game was a spin on Chorf and he did horrendous. Yeah, well. So like the first game, if he's used up all his spins, and then the first game is going to be down a Croxagore, which is painful, but these things happen. As you say, the Saurus there aren't too far away from gaining some levels. One of them, like the Niggle dude, is like 1 SPP away. But
yeah, they should do all right, really. I mean, there's not too much development across all the teams. Particularly the Lizardmen teams are a little bit behind everyone else, as I just looked over earlier. But it's not much of an issue when you got 7 strength 4 or more. Just got to hope that Croxagore gets back quickly.
Mirascard is saying he would fire the Ninglesaurus. Do you think that's is that the play you'd make, you guys?
Probably after you get your reroll. I think Mirascard is pretty right there. Of course, he does coach Lizards, but Saurus are really painful when you remove them. Like people always say, remove the skinks, but remove the Saurus. It's much harder, but if you can do it, it really hurts Lizardmen teams.
It removes. I think like the key thing when people say remove the skinks is if you remove the skinks, you remove their ball carrying options.
The problem with that is always if they should have enough skinks that they're always going to have 1, and 1 is enough. It's not excess at all, but it's enough. And just losing 2 Saurus can really kill Lizardmen teams.
Yeah. Yeah, as you say, there's not as many skills as you'd hope for coming out of your spin games, but Lizardmen, they get there eventually. Especially skinks, they get what they want. But getting guard on the Croxagore, that's huge. It's unfortunate that he's MNG'd, but we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, moving on again. So we're going from Perfecto. The next team is a Praetorian team coached by Warhammer Frog called Sir Robin's Brave Band. And where are these guys?
If this is not Monty Python names, I'm going to be disappointed.
It is. There's another King Arthur there. He's not quite as good as Arthur Pendragon. But he'll get there, man. Player.
He'll get there.
It's a bit of a dangerous thing to call one of your players now, though, isn't it? Arthur.
Cursed forever.
Bretonians, man, I love seeing them. It's weird. Like, tabletop, Bretonians don't exist. Games Workshop gave us this Human Nobles, which is kind of like the Bretonians in a way, but it's just not the same.
Way more OP.
Yeah, exactly right. Just make a Bretonian team. How hard can it be? But let's dive right in. You've got King Arthur Pendragon, who has Dodge and Frenzy. Brave Sir Robin with Mighty Blow, Sir Galahad the Meek with Tackle, Sir Bedivere the Wise with Dodge, and then everyone else is just standard.
Like any true Bretonian team, all the SPP is being hogged by the knights. Yeah, and the peasants are getting hurt severely.
Like, this team did actually beat me 3-0 too, which is kind of disappointing. Not to take anything away from Warhammer Frog, my dice did horribly there. There is a video up there somewhere, or it was, but no, Warhammer Frog played that match very well. And, he got rewarded for, his good play. A couple of agility busted linemen. The peasants, you don't really care, do you?
No, not really.
Yeah.
They're kind of there to take
They also beat Eureese.
Did they? Is that the power of
Let's have a look.
Did they beat Reese?
I don't know. They beat me 3-0. But I was playing a game against them and Nuffle, apparently. No, they managed to draw, Reese says.
Yeah, they tied. Tied Masters of Div 1. So that's Yasmir's team. So they're obviously pretty good, really. 2-2-0. That's a good record.
And James, you were there that day, man. You saw how hard I got Nuffled.
Yeah, Warhammer Frog seems to be like a new coach, and kind of like in the Big O and everything going around. But I've seen him like kind of active in Discord and everything. That's really good to see. So
yeah, no, he's a good coach. He's a good good person on the Discord channel. So expect big things from this Praetorian team.
Awesome. Okay, so again, gonna try and keep this moving a little bit. The next team is Lizard Skinned, and I feel like we've had that joke before.
It's a popular one, I think.
Yeah.
I gotta find them now. Lizard Skinner. I can't actually find them.
Yeah, where are they?
Am I blind? Did someone forget to add them?
Did I forget to add them?
Oh.
No. This is what happens when you guys don't. Yeah, I forgot to add them. This is what happens when you guys don't all join the Big O. Not only does Lark, get really annoyed at you through the internet, we can't do our proper recaps.
I can't even find. Oh, there they are. 1980.
They should be there now.
I've had to search them up. Yeah.
Wait, which
so
one?
This is...
There's 3 named the same thing.
Wait, yo, time out.
I only found one.
Miraskadu's saying that this team is now Scrublord Pro. Like they've had their name changed or something.
Oh, they've a new team.
Bobo
I invited them. I invited them, I believe. Scrublord Pro.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's
Just invited
right.
some random to the league.
Well, the coach is right, so there we go. Okay.
So we have Scrublord Pro in the teams?
So yeah, Scrublord Pro, they have 2 rerolls, the 1 Apo, standard Lizardman build, he's got the Crocs, all of his Saurus, and a whole bunch, 4 Skinks. I think one thing you might be disappointed with is that all of the SPP seems to be on the Skinks so far. The MVP on the Crocs is pretty cool though, but apart
a sprint sure feet Skink's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
Interesting jump.
You'd rather have like 2 block on like a Saurus than that though, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Like your Skinks will get SPP faster than the Saurus will. But yeah, a little unfortunate. 1 SPP away from gaining his first level on a Saurus, 1 SPP away from the Croxigore leveling up. And the Skinks basically all SPP, as you say. Clearly default names for the teams.
Yeah, we're disappointed. How are we meant to pronounce those?
I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, I don't know. Saurus number 1.
Yeah, it looks like he's got another spin game to go though, so there is potential for maybe some skills on some Saurus. Hopefully, I like to see that rather than, and he's only like 1k off of his 3rd reroll as well. So by the time the league starts, this team could get a lot more consistent.
Yeah. Best of luck to Bomber Joe. Silverhand Knights would be the next team. Another Praetorian team.
Another Praetorian.
Silverhand Knights.
They're a little less developed than the other team.
Have they played any games?
Completely less developed. Yeah, they haven't played.
Haven't played any games. No games. Having said that, I mean, what can you say? There's 4 blitzers, there's the 2 blockers, and then the peasants. Fairly standard build, right?
Is it standard? Could you not maybe get another blocker?
Some people go 3-3.
Yeah. I think he's like to go 4 blitzers.
Apothecary. He's gone Apothecary to protect his blitzers when if they get injured.
No, wait.
Reese saying that he doesn't like this build.
Yeah, wait, time out. Like, he's got 3k left over, and the lineman at 4k, blocks at 7k. One of those linemen should be a blocker, surely.
Yeah, see, it's interesting, because since you have all 3 blitzers, I guess you could go Apothecary. Thing is, though, what I always do is I roll a bit risky because if I know I'm going to take spin games, it doesn't matter if my team just blows up. I just remake it and only has 3 spin games. So, not having spin game is a bit of a disadvantage. Puts you a little bit behind everyone else. But then again, having a wizard against lots of the teams to start off with will be pretty handy for it.
In all fairness, though, like Nub's 11, level 5 coach, so arguably very new to sign, like Blood Bowl and potentially Blood Bowl in general. So, it might just be a bit of a learning curve. I know a lot of people who are new to the game, sort of they pick people and they don't know the optimal team builds, but it's something that comes with time and experience. So.
Yeah, he hasn't played a game as well, so you could always, end up changing any of this if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Reese is saying default names too. Do peasants really get names like Tall Mate, Dull Twitch, Handsome?
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
They get those names.
At least you can say these names. Charles de Gizaru.
If you are a new game, mate, I'd suggest go watching Reese. He's a Praetorian coach in Div 1. We'll cover him later. It's just going and watching players like him. I think we covered Reese a lot last season if you look at Tomo's YouTube channel. So,
bit
of self-promotion.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. Like, not too long to left to get some spin games in. The problem is, though, if he wants to go spin games, he's going to be going up against the wall real hard, being at 1970 TV. So, I don't know if he'll actually manage to get any. But Crusaders going to insult the French. I always insult the French. Fucking frogs. Lizard Political Party is the next team, which has been erased from the league, apparently.
Yeah, they're the ones they said they dropped, right? So we'll just skip them.
Yeah.
And we'll go over to Harganeth Lynches.
They also are missing from the thing. I was looking at the thing, so we're not quite sure about what's happening with them.
All right, well then we just move on to Yappy's Rebel.
Yeah, we just move on to the... We actually have 2 Orc teams to go, so
always good to see Orcs.
Rebels. Where are these guys at?
I am not secretly French, James. I'm as far away from French as can be possible.
Are these guys in the league? Yappies Rebels?
They are.
Yeah, they're still in the post-season spin at the moment, but they are indeed in the league.
Well, I mean, like, in our little thing.
Yeah, I put them in the Spy League. They're on the last page for me.
You might need to refresh your league.
Yep,
my grandfather James is a step-grandfather.
Yeah, we don't know who my great-great-grandfather is. He's unidentified. My great-great-grandmother was a bit rowdy, obviously.
Actually, Frederick Al, my parents, especially my dad, did the whole family tree thing. And, we fought against the French in, like, the 100 Years' War and things like that. So there's no French there. I mean, I think that's sort of true, too. There is, basically French if you think about it.
Okay, so Yabby's Rebels. Does anyone want
to? They have played 1 spin game and managed to get a win. And no level ups.
3 Black Orcs is a kind of a standout thing for me.
Yeah, it's a little strange when isn't it?
Yeah, I think starting with all 4 Blitzers and all 4 Black Orcs is definitely preferable. I'd even drop the app. Well, of course, we don't know what he spent his money and everything on, like with that thing. But I would definitely get all my positionals on Orcs before getting an apple. I do like the fact he doesn't have a troll though. So.
Another sort of, he's a level 10 coach, so again, potentially somewhat new to Blood Bowl. But it's interesting to see now that a lot of players who are coming in, they tend to sort of take the thrower, don't they?
I like throws. I also think trolls can be handy early TV, not as good later TV when you start to bloat up a bit, but it's an option. But Tomo is absolutely correct in saying he should be getting another Black Orc before he does anything else.
Yeah, I 100% agree to that. He's what 40k away from it.
Yeah, Blackhawks are
Um,
so important to have because you A, want MVPs getting on them, and B, like 4-4-2-9 without block is pretty average, but then 4-4-2-9 with block and guard is awesome. So
Yeah.
just got to
Do
get
you-
that.
like the question is, do you drop the thrower in favor of a Blackhawk when you're building the team, and then pick up a thrower later?
Yeah, you got more than enough money for the thrower to go. There's a start, isn't it? That's sort of 4 blitzers, 4 Blackhawks, and then you can go like lineman, thrower, can't you? I don't know.
Yeah,
Lyman
I
throw
think-
would still leave your player short, wouldn't it?
No, you can go 4-4 lineman throw. I'm pretty sure is a possible
Yeah.
build for Orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the interesting thing about throwers is they're not quite as good when you don't have agility teams coming up against. If you had lots of wood elves, strip ball is really what the thrower is made to counter. If you don't have much of it, just carry with the blitzer because they get better skills, basically.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I don't mind throwers. I like throwers. I do like. I do. I've just gotten the fucking naming convention too. Wow. I do like the passing play, but like agility 3, whatever. But yeah, I think lacking the 4th Blackhawk. The Blackhawks have the same problem that like Chaos Warriors, Noga Warriors, Tomb Guardians and whatnot have. They don't start with any skills relevant to their job, and that is to remove pieces. So they start to level up very slowly. So having 3 Blackhawks from inception of the team, and then getting another one later on, it's going to take a while for that Blackhawk to get levels, because as soon as like a couple of Blackhawks get Mighty Blow and they get their guard, they start getting more and more SPP because they're more reliable to get the removals, and then you have one Blackhawk who's just doing nothing because you can't rely. He's not going to gain the SPP as fast as everybody else. So getting them from the start, probably the best place.
Yep, and yeah, he's played the one spin game, so you can't really go back and edit all this now because he's already got that game under his belt. But you know,
Yeah.
he picked up the
His
wins,
only option
so.
would be to fire the team and start another Orc team if he wanted to do so. But yeah, no, like Orcs are Orcs. Like they do reasonably well. They play against Bash quite well. They play against Agility quite well once they get leveled. So not a bad choice overall. In fact, they're probably one of the more beginner friendly teams. So
And if we go look, also the next team actually, if we move on to them, Red Skulls Go Faster, has a nice name, but didn't name the players, I don't think. But similar type of team, having the thrower, having 4 Blackhawks though this time, with the reroll and Apothecary. So yeah, this team might have had one more game than the other team or something.
he has. He's played against Goldby Wharf and lost both games, but it's all right. Like, again, this is a level 1 sign-up coach, BT. So again, quite possibly very, very new to Blood Bowl. But Blood Bowl's one of those games you pick it up reasonably quick. You might take a few beatings here and there, but
And if you want to go look for some good players to watch, good players can be like has some really good Orc players. Papa Nasty, yeah, you got Papa Nasty. You have in the playoffs. Of course, me and Crusader casted a Papa Nasty game the other day, and in the playoffs, Pete out of the War. Pete's a really good coach. He's like 25-0-2 or something stupid like that. So going and watching good coaches, I'd suggest to do if you're watching BT, if you're a bit newer to the game.
Yeah, as I said, Orcs, great team for beginners. If BT can get a bit of knowledge behind him, learn the game, learn how to position his players and go from there, and manage to get a bit of luck on his side, then he'll do fine. Orcs just generally do fine.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, that was Division 3 done. Do you guys have? Well, I think we know who Liam would want to pick to actually win the league. But Crusader, is there any kind of team that you stands out that you think's going to have a good shot here? Or
Peacock at 2, Eric. I'm putting my money on the Camry. I'm putting my money on Camry.
I got to admit, Camry is scary because Chorfs, of course, without guard, can't really deal with that 5 strength. So yeah, Camry, they're a good shot. Even Brain on Slugs could be
Yep.
a surprisingly good choice for a rookie Nurgle because he
Camry
knows
or
what
Nurgle.
he's doing, and he's got some eye strength there in a very bash heavy division.
Yeah.
Camry or Nurgle would be where my heart is. Where I would put a team to win that I think will do well. I'm not 100% sure yet. The problem with Div 3 when it comes to that is like they're either new teams or new coaches, so they can be surprises out of left field. But I mean, I think everyone's in with a chance. But I would like Camry or Nurgle to win. So Peacock and Brain on Slugs, don't let me down.
And also Yasmir. Don't forget Yasmir. He's a veteran coach, coaching Chaos Dwarves. He'll be good as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're moving on to Division 2 now, which is the first of the returning teams, or the league for the returning players.
So much disgusting Skaven.
Oh, yeah. Division 2 is the division of dodge. So get your tackle soon, people. Get your tackle early. Unless you're playing against me, in which case...
I know I invited the Cold Coast Cutthroats, but he accepted and then was expelled, so I don't know if he's...
You expelled him?
I didn't expel him.
Just go search him up again.
Might have been me. Whoops.
I've only got 3 pages instead of 4 now. I've invited teams.
Yeah, because I'm removing all the other teams because there's no point having them anymore. They might just accept tickets into our stupid league.
Alright. Okay.
How stupid we see everything league, yeah.
Alright, so I need to find the Cold Cost Cutthroats. Okay, give me a second.
Sam Slade was a ridiculous team.
Okay, I've got them on stream. Anyway. So, I guess I'll talk about them since they're here and I've got them up. So yeah, of course it's Sam Slade. This is his team that he's had for... This will be his 3rd season, I'm pretty sure. Former Division 1 coach. He's now in Division 2.
We need to take a moment of silence just to mourn the passing of a Yeti that was on this team.
That's true.
That's enough silence.
Finally dead.
Yeah, he got deaded.
I remember when he died. Remember that match against Morka? He died there. He died again, but he didn't come back this time.
Yeah.
Shoddy Appos.
She gone.
Tomo can talk to you all about Shoddy Appos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Betty. Did Betty die? I can't remember if it was a death or if it was just like an injury or something like that. It was an injury that got traded, maybe? I don't know. In any case, the Yeti's gone, so Sally the Sasquatch is currently the heavy hitter of this team. But to say heavy hitter of this team is to do a disservice to some of these players, Tomo, isn't it?
Yeah, look at Golden, Gengar, Drac. I'm pretty sure this was a player that was traded, if I remember correctly.
I really don't know.
I'm pretty sure he is because I don't remember seeing him last season.
I remember that Sam Slade had quite a lot of players that had either like niggles or busted stats in certain places, but he seems to have done a good job in the off season of just kind of like replacing everything and building up a super solid team again.
I think Chat's saying that he wanted to replace the Yeti since it didn't roll block. So just traded it for the gold in the free agency pickup and then got a bunch of gold to purchase extra things with. So
yeah, it was one
the Panda doesn't strike me as one of his team names.
But yeah, just to go
standout players here, like.
Oh, go on then.
No, sorry, dude. You go on.
Okay, then just to go through his team, what he's got a little bit. So Eric the Red, who's been here for a while, is thrower, kind of like his main ball carrier as well. Who's blodge, pass, sure hand, sidestep. Is that leader at the end?
That is indeed leader. A fantastic piece.
Yep, super efficient, super good at what he does. And next we have his 2 runners. So yeah, we've got Blodge, Dauntless, Sidestep on both of them, with Rincewind having Fend and the other one having plus movement and Diving Tackle. Diving Tackle's a skill that I still think a lot of people forget about sometimes, and it's always in danger of kind of like the oh crap moments where you think you're going to be able to dodge away, and then it's oh man, I forgot about Diving Tackle. So I think it's like
also another skill that it's also another skill that Blood Bowl 2 doesn't implement correctly.
I'm not a tabletop player, so
just displays it weirdly when you go for the dodges and whatnot.
It's not Blood Bowl 2016, so just keep
live
it like
with it.
that,
Live
please.
with it. Yeah, live with it.
Okay, next is the two Berserkers. So of course they have Blodge, Frenzy, Jump Up, and Purvis the Panda has plus Agi on top of that. So it's.
I don't mind that piece. I don't mind. He's a slightly slower war dancer. In a lot of ways. I mean, he has Jump Up, which is good. Agility 4 should enable him to get to where he needs to throw some decent blocks.
Oh, absolutely. Agi 4 is amazing. It's like the entire reason I play Dark Elves. But we have...
Well, it can't be the only reason, surely.
Then we have the player that chat's saying he got from Gengar. Golden Gengar Drak. That's a beast of an elf. Like,
that's a scary elf one, isn't it?
I'm really glad I'm not going to be seeing that. You know, that's clearly like the elite blitzer piece that he has that he's going to be trying to get blitz off every time with to try and remove a whole bunch of pieces. And strength 4 blitzing is just so good.
Coming from Gengar, I'm actually quite surprised it's tackle instead of dirty player, but whatever.
His other Ulf has got block, and then he's just got a smattering of some like still really useful skills. One lineman with guard, one lineman with tackle, and of course his rookie Yeti at the end, which he'll be hoping to get some better rolls with this time. Like I said earlier, his team was really busted up towards the end of last season. He's really managed to take it around and build a super solid team now.
Well, if you remember back, Sam Slade was in the playoffs 2 seasons ago, and I believe he met Sage first round, and Sage completely just beat him up. And it wasn't even Sam's bad playing mostly; it was a lot of dice as well. So yeah, he should be good though in the long run.
Yeah, I think this team will come quite nicely. It has a lot of the tools necessary to do quite well in this division. More tackle would probably be in his favour, considering just the makeup of Division 2. But I'm sure Sam Slade knows what he's doing. I have no doubt that he'll be aiming to pick up a couple more tackle pieces.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so next team. It's the Rat Lovers.
We got to call it Rat Lovers, don't we?
Yeah, it's the Rat Lovers. Hang on.
Only on my stream would I ever say that name out loud.
Yeah, we're official now.
Okay, I've got them up.
Oh, there they are. The Rat Lovers are nasty, though.
Look at that. 3 gutter runners with agility 5. That is disgusting.
The only bad thing about it is interesting choice to pick Dauntless before Leap on the Saka. Because, don't get me wrong, Dauntless can be handy. But the fact is that 2 dice against isn't really that bad at all. Especially since 2+ Leap into the cage you're going to get pretty much every time. And with Wrestle and Strip Ball, if they don't have sure hands, you're getting them down everything that's not a skull. So, and it's something like it's like a 90% chance or something stupid with a reroll, even 2 dice uphill.
Yeah, I don't think you don't particularly need Dauntless when you've got a guy who just ignores, 5 results out of 6, the ball is free, and Leap just lets you get in there. As you say, agility 5, 2+ leaps, happy days. But where there's a plan.
I want to get him to leap ASAP, but once that happens, he might not need to leap too much because there's going to be lots of loose cages and screens in this division anyway.
Learn your anti-leap cage now, people.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Because
sort of got like
agility 5 lends its way to leap real nicely.
yeah.
I kind of feel a bit like weird about like what I said earlier because like all of his gutter runners, they're clearly built to do like a separate role, but when all your guys are like agility 5 anyway, like you kind of get to the point where like they can all do everything.
They do
anyway.
meld into one. But like, do you pass up agility? Do you pass up an agility up on a gutter runner?
Oh hell no.
No.
No, exactly right. There are some pieces where you go, yeah, bugger it. Like Chaos Warriors, yeah, whatever, don't care. Noble Warriors, don't care. But like on gutter runners, yeah, I'm taking agility up every day of the week. So yeah, a nice team, this one.
Yeah.
And the other thing is there's 2 heads on Poodle as well. So they all the gutter runners dodge through 1 tackle zone on a 2+, which is just amazing. The big thing is it's not quite as awesome it's better in like a division full of bash, which this division isn't. Like they're still gonna be great, don't get me wrong, but this division being so Elfi is going to be about hitting things a bit more and removing the other players, the other team's players, which this team actually does very well as well. Having Mad Monk, Crud, and all those expendable linemen. I'd just like to see. I know I was watching White Line played Slice the other day, and just being a bit more aggressive with Mad Monk. Because it's the tackle piece. You just really want to get Mad Monk going out there, hitting stuff. Because Crud's great, but Crud's only really that good against your high AV things. Yeah, because they're not going to have dodge. You just got to use your tackle against all these elves. It really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's a good team. Slice is a great coach. He knows what he's doing. And he's got the progression needed right now. He's got quite a few rookie linemen, but whatever. But yeah, all the positionals are doing what they need to do quite well. So I again expect good things from this coach, this team. So.
Yep. How did his spins go? I wonder.
We played White Line the other day.
There's some big
White
scores
line
in these games.
Jesus.
5-3 White Line, 5-4
He was
Ravensclaw, 3-2 Capital Rats, and 3-3 Fruity Kisses. Like,
that's perfect, though. That's what you want in spin games. Like, you don't really care. He probably won't really care losing the White Line because he will have got 3 touchdowns and he probably's hurt an elf or 2.
Yeah, Morka just did Morka things, though, didn't he? 5 TDs. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, considering Morka actually received first and failed to score on the first drive.
That's uncharacteristic.
Yeah, well, actually, it's the diving tackle caught Morka out on the first drive, and it was a 75% chance to succeed, which is never that great, and he failed it. So yeah, he knows what to do. That AG5 diving tackle guy is awesome.
Yeah, and so one Skaven team to another, Dazzers, our local, our insider in GW with the Wumpfners.
Okay. Yep, I've got them up now.
Good to see Daz is back for another season. There was a little bit of uncertainty whether or not he'd be returning, but he is returning, and he's with us in the Big O yet again.
And
the
AG4 Storm Vermin.
It's scary. That? It's scary.
And look at that thrower, 4-strength strip ball. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he has it was a discussion. He was playing in the Open Invitational, and again, it came up that conversation again about the plus strength on your thrower. Some people don't like it. I personally quite like it because, again, as I said earlier, your opponent goes, "Oh, this is a 2-die," and now it's just 1 because of the strength 4. It's good. I like it. If you don't remember,
look at Pabanasi's team. That 4-strength thrower is awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Daz has got a really nice team going on here. Strength 4 thrower, agility 4 Stormvermin, and a movement 10 Gutter Runner.
And Crusader, you've been immortalized in it. There's a Gutter Runner called Crusader. How about that?
Oh, I'm gonna die.
I might have to place a bounty on it now.
You know what? I might do it myself.
There is only one Crusader.
put up a picture of a miniature and a link. You'll win this prize. I painted this. It'll be really Daz's painting. It's a nice little joke for anyone who's part of the Discord chat. But yeah, no, I like this team. I like where Daz is at. Daz plays in the tabletop over at GW. He's part of the design studio, so he gets to talk to some of the best minds who make the tabletop game. So it should help him out on Cyanide, I'd imagine. But yeah, the team's come along quite nicely. Getting crucial skills where he needs.
They're a bit interesting though. Like I definitely say that unorthodox with that strip ball taking on the thrower. Like honestly, as soon as I would have seen that plus strength up, or sacked the other thrower because he's got block, boring. Just put block on him, made him an awesome ball carrier if you need it. Because like it can be good to get a developed thrower, but a developed thrower you don't start with block really. You start with like accurate and leader and hopefully strong arm. And also still having the Rat Ogre. That's a lot of TV there that isn't as good as say 3 more skills on like 2 of your gutter runners. So
break tackle juggernaut on a Rat Ogre is not bad at all.
It's not bad, but Tomo I know will agree with me on Rat Ogres.
Yeah, I'm not really too much of a fan unless you get like you roll block on like the first skill or something. Like, okay, so the good thing about the Rat Ogre like this, especially with break tackle, is that if someone does like a standard cage against you, you can just kind of like double click on the ball, and you got a pretty good chance of actually getting like a couple of dice on the ball. But like generally, I'm not really too much of a fan of the Roger at all.
The Roger, if it's blitzing, it avoids being both down because it has Juggernaut and it gets a follow-up block again. I mean,
that's a good point.
I like it. But going back to the strength 4 thrower, I think Daz and I were talking about it in one of our just like a friendly game, or it might have been a spin game, one of the two. And we're just discussing the strength 4 thrower, and he's like, he's just a ball sacker now. He's a good ball sacker.
Problem is,
or he makes a decent safety.
I don't see. Yeah, well, actually, a safety is pretty fair enough. He's just not a very good. What do you call it? Like, he's not going to get inside the cage at the current moment. That's what your gutter runners are for. So it's interesting and very unorthodox to take that on a thrower.
I like it.
If he rolls plus AG next, then he gets really fun. Or something stupid like that.
Becomes a little bloaty with a plus agility, but yeah, it could potentially be very comical.
He's already a little bloaty.
If you get some stats, he turns
gets
into
a little
a
more
monster.
bloaty.
But yeah.
So what was that there, Tomo? Didn't quite pick it
I was
up.
just saying, yeah, if that thrower gets some more stats, he can definitely turn into like a big monster. But
yeah,
And
although we've ignored the 10 movement 2 heads gutter runner, which we probably shouldn't. That's probably one of his best players.
Oh, it's a great one-turner, isn't it?
it is, but
Just
yeah,
needs
it's a type of player
one
that's,
push.
yeah, he's only going to come on for like the one turn, you would think. Like that. You still get all of his SPP from like doing all of his one turns and everything, but I don't think he's going to be, on the pitch unless he's forced to put him on the pitch on, like defensive drives.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, what do you pick up next on a movement 10 gutter runner? Probably like block would be not a bad one. Sidestep would make it even better at the one turn attempt.
Sprint for me.
It's certainly a piece that as you say, sprint's also very good. But as you say, it's a piece that you don't want to be putting on the pitch. It's a big target. Movement 10 on the gutter runner, that's a huge target.
Yeah.
So, but do we have to talk about the next team?
Is it the Razor Leafs?
No, it's not the Razor Leafs.
Is it that disgusting dwarven menace?
It's like their only natural predator.
Wow, yeah. Fun and interactive.
Do we have...
They are so disgusting.
Oh, I want to see this team dead. If I could put a bounty on this team for like $1,000, I would. Just the entire team. I want it dead. I want it gone. I don't want to see this team ever again.
It's just nasty. Like, I can't believe how much. The best thing is that Lark is just filling it out with Mighty Blow now. It's just like, yes,
Oh,
give in to the hate.
The strategy here is just kill. there's like no strategy apart from I'm going to kill you, and like it's a strategy that works. So more power to them, I guess. But
I know, it's like every single positional has like one cookie cutter build, and he's just doing that cookie cutter build on like every single thing, and it's just.
Honestly,
this
Lark could just sack his Death Roller and surprise, and I'd still love this team so much.
Like if this team, like if Lark was playing this team on say like Fumble or a tabletop league that had like the online Blood Bowl manager, his team is literally Control C, Control V, just cut and paste for skills, isn't it? Cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. Like, oh, it's disgusting. I don't even like. And now that he knows his biggest, like Lark's biggest weakness in the past has been his ball carrier is continually left open, but he's been made aware of that in the last few games. That's how people have managed to, get by-in. So if he can learn to protect his ball carrier a little better, this team's just going to be one of those ones that you just don't beat. They get the ball, they cage up, they trundle down the field, they kill your players, game over.
What I think Lark should be doing now is this is what I'd be trying to do. It looks like he's doing this as well. Is just cycling runners, so just having like 2 runners or whatever, and trying to get since they're going to score 90% of their touchdowns, trying to get block dodge on them or strength 4 or AG up, just to make them that next step. Like getting block dodge on them is just so annoying for any wood elf like Crusader trying to leap into your cage, or that horrible 4 strength gutter runner, which is just an abomination. So
there's just like purely from my wood elf perspective, there's no real easy way into the ball at all ever. And the fucking thing's got short hands, so I'm not strip balling it out of there. I'm going to need to pick up probably Wrestle at some point, but that leaves my dude on the ground. Juggernaut would probably be the other option if I can access it. But it's a horribly disgusting, efficient team. And like you look at because of the Death Roller, he's now got the fucking referee rest area, so he gets the free bribe. So.
The Death Roller is good for actually mind games with your opponent, because usually if you got your Death Roller on, right, most people are going to be going 2-1 grind. But if you start your Death Roller on and you go to the Skaven team or whoever you're playing and you go, you can score in 2 turns and give me the ball so I'll grind out the match to your 2-1. Or you can leave my Death Roller on for the rest of the match and I'll just stomp on you and run you over as much as I can. So really can be great for mind games.
It's funny you should mention that, because on the first time he got the Death Roller and a bribe, Lark forgot to take his Death Roller off at the end of the drive, so he used his bribe up instantly. Did he have a bribe or not? I can't remember if he had a bribe or not. But ostensibly he had the bench. He could have put the Death Roller on the bench and avoided the sending off, but forgot to do so. So I think he's learned from that mistake, unfortunately, for all of us. But yeah, this is a disgusting team. Like this, if this team doesn't go up to Division 1 next season, I'll be surprised.
It's going to be pretty hard not for them, unless Lark pulls some dodgy strings.
A lot of people get as I said before, Division 2, agility-based division, going to need a hell of a lot of luck against Lark. There's no easy way to get to the ball. The ball carrier has short hands. Every piece out there is going to turn, it's going to kill you. So the only option you have is get the ball and hide away and then try and leverage some of your speed against him. But it's just, it's so horrible.
Yeah, you just got to get the ball before Lark does. And if Lark, gets runners with kickoff return and dodge and block, it's just such a pain.
Yeah, it is a nightmare team to play against. And yeah, I don't think there's too many people out there who would like to play against this. Yeah, next season we'll see. Especially if Legendary Edition's out. I'm going to be playing Goblins next season, funnily enough. But,
yeah,
Goblins versus that will be amusing.
Chainsaws. That'd be horrible against this.
Oh, chainsaws, bombs, bribes out the wazoo. Yeah, Lark's been talking up his ability to kill the Death Roller. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this team will destroy James's team before he gets a chance to kill it. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not impossible to win against dwarves, but the odds are stacked against you when the team is just this solidly built. So the only good thing is Lark's going to be like a wizard against me, or other stuff. So we'll see.
Okay, so moving on a little bit. Next is the Flying Rainbow Ponies, which is a high elf team.
High elf team.
Coached by Hiruma
The Hells.
Majere. These are another team that was in Div 1 last season, right? Or am I...
No, these were
Div
Div 2.
They were Div 2. They were Div 2.
Okay.
They were...
Yeah.
So he has
they've certainly come a lot further last season. So
Did they get any doubles? I remember this team having no doubles. Got
they've
a
got
couple.
a movement 9 catcher, and then strong arm thrower.
Strong arm throw is beautiful. And
It's so good, especially on
pieces.
elves.
Handy.
Yeah.
This team has got a lot better since I last saw them.
Yeah, the guard
it's
is
not a bad
huge.
team at all.
And also he's blodging up, which is just awesome, of course. High elves are starting to hit that peak at this TV. So yeah, really nasty team. Oh, I think they're actually getting much better. I'm pleasantly surprised by this team. One thing though that's huge is if they can getting some mighty blow on a catcher or a blitzer.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking about the second catcher, position number 5, basically a war dancer now with tackle. He's got catch. He's got blodge and leap. So he's ostensibly a war dancer with catch and tackle. Is a great piece. I see good things in this team's future as long as they avoid the nightmare that will be the dwarves, or have to play them early on and survive. That's going to be the thing, right? In this division, with all the agility teams, it's going to be who plays Lark early and survives, because then you stand a decent chance to go on. But
Yeah, they should be.
I like where this team's at.
Yeah, I like this team a lot as well.
Yeah, they're hitting that peak, which is great. Great to see them doing that.
Still only the 2 team rerolls. He has the leader on the thrower, which I love that thrower. Look at that, it's such a good thrower.
I like that. I like the
Oh,
2
it's
rerolls.
pretty
2
bad.
team rerolls and 1 leader reroll, I think is really, really good. High elves
Yeah.
are super consistent anyway. If you're playing the passing game properly, every time the throw is throwing, there's a built-in reroll. When the catches are catching, there's built-in rerolls. You don't need a huge amount of rerolls generally. So I really like the 2
I
team
agree.
rerolls and the 1 leader.
I think the only leader sort of gets less valued for me. I think on teams with 50,000 rerolls, simply because looking at the strong arm, currently he doesn't actually have accurate, which sort of sucks. But accurate means he's doing long passes on a 2+. Now he's just doing short passes on a 2+.
I would like to see the thrower needs to pick up accurate would be good.
Yeah.
And then is there a consideration that he then takes pro?
Well, he's got to be legend after that, so that's a long way away.
I don't know. He's got a lot of built-in why would he take pro? He's got a lot of built-in rerolls anyway. It doesn't stack, does it? If he's throwing, he's got
That's
built-in
true.
reroll. If he's dodging out of something, he's got a built-in reroll.
Yeah.
For a legend skill for him, just got to hope for doubles, I'd say.
Double strength.
Or getting sidestep strength.
Agility.
Yeah,
well,
plus
now
agi,
agility
plus
5 with
strength.
long arm. No, it's a good team. They did Flying Rainbow Ponies did quite respectably last season. And they've come a lot further than they were before. So I expect to see some good matches out of this team, and hopefully get to cast a few myself. So
How is this?
Next team is the
SI Earth Shakers, who seem to be beaten up at the moment. So now is your time to play against an undead team with a bit of an advantage on your side. Only the one mummy, only one life.
Oh, that ghoul though! Look at that.
Yeah, but he's not protected, is he? He's not real protected. One mummy, one white. Sure, a couple of zombies with guard, but
Actually, there's no tackle on this team. Either this team comes up against Lark first round and just goes, pray for regen rolls, or it, comes
plays
up
agility
against
team
the
after
dodgy
agility team
teams.
after agility team, and they just run circles around it.
I just try and rack up the score.
Yeah,
because this team,
good coach.
He's a good coach. Yeah, he's a good coach, but the problem here is the two most important players for skills on your undead are the whites and the mummies. Strength skill is slightly better than agility. Got to get mighty blow. Got to get a killer. Got to get guard. And it sucks that the mummy hasn't even got block. It is a nice mummy, but it doesn't have block.
If that mummy gets block, it's the Alpine abuser becomes real scary. But with the lack of tackle or any sort of skills to stop the agility teams, agility teams if they come against Phage early on before he can get another white back or gets another mummy, and even then when they're rookies, they're going to be able to run circles around them. All you got to worry about realistically is an agility 5 ghoul. But it's going to be a tough one for Phage. He's a great coach. He's just being beaten up. Larkus is saying that he had some spin games. I had a spin game against the team already, and no one heard his prayers. So, who voluntarily played spin games against Lark? Because those people need to be committed.
That's crazy. But no wonder that happened. This is an undead team which is meant to be resilient. So
those regen rolls must have done something pretty piss poor.
Yeah, usually when I look at undead teams, the thing I look at them to see, how the team's developing is usually the whites, because you can kind of rely usually on the mummies getting their SPP since they start with Mighty Blow. But
yeah, exactly right.
This team's missing a white, and the one white he has is 0 out of 6. These guys are normally either the ones that are going to be your elite blitzes and things are going to be be trying to get removals and stuff like that. To actually guard the rest of your ghouls and things. Whereas he's got all 4 ghouls, which they're just going to be targets a lot of the time. Without any kind of as Crusader mentioned, there's no protection or anything for these guys right now. So. I think he needs to try and get some money as soon as possible. It's stating the obvious, really. Get some money as soon as possible and start, rebuilding with these whites and these mummies. So I think he's going to have quite a difficult start of the season. But as it goes on, this team has the potential to end up quite strong eventually.
Yeah, the biggest thing going in Phage's favor as it stands right now, and it's kind of weird to say that because he's down a mummy and down a white. His TV is 1270, and you look at some of the TV in the division at the moment. And he's going to be getting inducements. He's going to be getting a decent amount of inducements. Against Lark, for example, he's down by, what's Lark at? 18 something or other. So he's going to get a fair whack of inducements. It could enable him to buy star players, to shore up his team whilst he's still rebuilding. But he's gonna have to protect those ghouls. If he loses that agility 5 ghoul, this team could be in a bit of a downward spiral. Sure, the other ghouls there, got Blodge, and one of them has sidestep, and another one's got wrestle. But that star play, the only sure hands on his team at the moment is on the agility 5 ghoul. That thing is a huge target simply before it's agility 5. But if he loses that, it's going to be a hard season for Phage, I think, at that point. So, especially when he has to repurchase, whites, which are 90k, and mummies, which are, 110 or something like that.
Yeah,
they're not
expensive.
Has taken an Astro Granite surface too for a stadium upgrade, which is kind of entertaining. So, but I think agility teams, if you can get against Phage early, you should win. You should win that match against Phage early on, and you should also probably avoid a lot of the beating that would come with a more leveled up team. If I remember correctly, Phage's second mummy and his whites previous to this were actually quite good pieces. So, get in against Phage early is all I'm saying.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Next team is
Oh.
Someone's brother, I do understand.
Yeah, my brother. Catastrophe. I guess I can have a quick talk about these guys. So yeah, the first thing we always look at with this team is Garfield, who's actually managed to score a touchdown in like one of his first games. He then proceeded to roll.
Nice.
He then proceeded to roll double sixes on his first ever level up. So we had a big long discussion between plus strength and block, which eventually went out with block, which is good because this Mino rolls both downs all the damn time. But with like, you know, Mighty Blow, Claw, Block, and stuff, like, you know, I don't like big wild animal things, and every time I play a friendly against my brother, I always try to teach him just how easily this thing dies. But
But it
like,
doesn't die.
No, it hasn't. That's just friendlies, you know. But like, you know,
and it won't in this division though, because there's nothing really to kill it.
Oh, there's a death roller.
yeah, exactly.
Oh well, yeah.
You know,
Other than Lark's team,
you
just
see-
hope if he plays Lark's team last round, Lark will be scared of him because he'll have Claw.
yeah, that's what we need to. That's what everyone in Div 2 needs to hope for, right? You need to hope that, you know, like, you know, Catastrophe at least has, you know, half a season at least, just to get some claw and everything on the team. Although that my brother's going to be kind of, you know, tending towards like Mighty Blow just because it's better
What do I care
in
about
this division than
What do I
claw.
care about Claw?
But like, if he did get some good claw, like, you know, this is the team that, you know, depending on when he plays Lark, like Lark could have a little bit of trouble with, I think.
Fun fact: I outbashed this team with my wood elves.
Oh right, okay. Never mind.
Hence the personal grudge bribe on my Mighty Blow War Dancer.
No,
Yeah, well, it's just nothing more to say other than that Lark actually bountied all the Claw players. I'm pretty sure, so there probably is something on Garfield's head.
Garfield has been bountied. A block Minotaur with Claw is something we don't need in this division, I think is the reason. Don't need in the Big O, so yeah. Lark doesn't even want to see it in the Big O, period. But like, it's progressing kind of like the standard Chaos team does. I mean, Warriors get block, then they get Mighty Blow, then they get Claw. You know, the Beastman, he's got the Sure Hands Beastman, he's got the Mighty Blow Beastman. I'm actually kind of surprised there's no Frenzy Beastman at the moment. I like the Frenzy Beastman. But, you know, it's progressing how you would expect a normal Chaos team to progress.
yeah.
So.
I think the reason he hasn't got the Frenzy guy yet is that, you know, Findico's quite new to Blood Bowl, you know, generally. Like, most of his, like, experience, like, you know, playing Blood Bowl is just kind of, like, playing against me. So, you know, I don't think he's really realized the potential of kind of, you know, like, sideline control yet, and how, you know, Frenzy can really, you know, exploit that. But, you know, I'm telling you now, like, me and my brother have been playing against each other at games, you know, since we were, you know, pretty much old enough to hold controllers. So, like, you know, over time, you know, he's going to pick the game up, he's going to get a lot better, and, you know, eventually, like, you Div 2 coaches are going to have to watch out.
Yeah, it's certainly, like, he's in a division of agility, so he'll certainly learn very quickly that sideline control is going to be good. The injury, Miriscadu is just an MNG on Mittens, so Mittens will be back after his first game. And Lark's saying he hasn't played against Guard Spam yet, and know how good Guard is. Well, probably not, but someone will tell him. So, look.
Possibly you, Lark. You'll learn the hard way.
Yeah, I got fortunate in my match against Catastrophe that my Mighty Blow Dancer did actually do some work. He removed Chaos Warriors like you wouldn't believe. And I was able to just then exploit my speed and my agility to, you know, get a couple of touchdowns and stall out and, you know. But, yeah, certainly a good player. Nothing to be snuffed at there, so...
The one last thing I want to point out
forward to-
as well is that although this team's in Div 2 with a lot of the, like, you know, with all the returning teams, you know, he did only play like 3 games in Div 3 last season. So he's had, what, how many games total? No, I always confuse myself looking at his thing.
8 total. 4, 1, and 3.
Oh,
He's
so,
there.
so yeah, it'll have been 4 games last season then. So, you know, being able to build kind of like a team that, you know, at least has a chance in Div 2 against some of the other teams, you know, in that short amount of time, I think is quite an achievement.
Yeah, I look forward to it. As I said, like these warriors, once they get their block, their mighty blow, and their claw, become quite scary, especially to several people who have armor 8 and above. But the next team doesn't give a crap about claw, really.
Yeah.
Do you want to
The
talk about
Razor
it?
Leafs, coached by the man
Yours truly.
himself.
Yeah,
Where are
I even
you?
caved and bought a tree, so I kind of do care. I'm on page 3, I
There
think.
you are here.
What do you have to say about your team, Crusader? Jinx yourself so your team all dies.
I don't particularly want to do that. I'm kind of happy with where they're at the moment.
Are you going to be getting more catches?
I've got 2 catches currently. The plan was to go to the full complement of 4 at some point. I ummed a nerd over taking a catcher over a thrower as a pick there, but I eventually went with the thrower just because I do like that passing game. Especially I can leave him back deep with the ball against the slower teams. Then now my division is full of agility teams, so maybe I did want the thrower to the catcher. I don't know. Personally, I'd like the catchers to get sure hands because I am a team without sure hands currently. But Miriscado, more lineman is also, it's in the works, as it were. But I'm kind of happy with how the core positionals in my team started to fill out towards the end of the season and spin games and whatnot. So,
Yeah, because you were on the fence about re-rolling this at one point, weren't you? So, like, what was the thing that made you actually
And then you rolled
decide
plus
to
AG and...
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I rolled plus agility and plus movement on the third ward answer that I've had to go through. So yeah, and then Stings like B picked up Mighty Blow and he's just needed to do really well. I quite like this piece. So he's now got 2 bounties on his head. Which, what do you do?
Moving on again.
Yeah, nothing
We're
really
being a
here to
bit
talk about.
The old Hobart Honey Badgers, so another high elf. I think the only 2 high elves are in Div 2 at the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I like this team.
I do too. I do too. I wish the names were more original, but what do you do?
So yeah, I'll just have a quick run through of this. The thrower with strong arm and accurate, really good. It's just what you want standard. What's it? Long bombs 3+, I think it is, with those ones.
Accurate +1, strong arm +1.
Yeah, that's long passes. 2+ long passes, 3+ long bombs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really
it's a
good.
great throw.
Yes, like 2 blitzes, 1 with blodge, 1 with just block. That's fine. They're going to be getting stuck into stuff every now and again. You could maybe want some few more skills and things on them, but everyone always wants more skills on their pieces. It's fine. Then he has 3 catches, 1 agility 5, 1 movement 9, and 1 mighty blow. So he has, his primary blitzer on this team isn't even a blitzer. It's going to be that catcher running around nailing folk. He has, the Agi 5 guy that he can send downfield who's going to be a reliable receiver from a throw the ball to. And he has his he has his movement 9 guy for the 1-turners as well. And if you look down at his team to the lineman, he has an agility 5 leap guy there who's going to, who should be built towards being a primary sacker as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
There's so many little good things about this team that if you just get some more SPP and throw them on, they could come from kind of a team that has kind of the good makings, or the makings of a good team that it is now, to being a really fantastic team.
Taking Mighty Blow on that catcher, it's probably my favorite pick in all of the Big O. I love Mighty Blow on catches. It's just, yes. Just hopefully, because it only needs 1 SPP till it gets block or dodge. We just gotta hope that he doesn't get Lark first round, because it all 3 of these catches have no protection because of tackle. It's no, gotta have Lark a bit later in the season.
Yeah, I think as I said earlier, there's going to be how many people are in the Big O Div 2 at the moment? Is what 12 games, so 13. Yeah, there's going to be 12 people very keen to avoid those dwarves for like late in the game. So, well, at any point in time, really. Yeah, I kind of like that lineman is really good. The leap, I'd like to see him like wrestle or something like that. The catcher also not bad if he picks up wrestle and or tackle at some point. So, it's a team that, like, Division 2, it's going to have a lot of teams in it, which, until they face Lark, will be exciting matches because they've got a lot of players who can do a lot of good things. So,
Yeah, well, moving on to another AG team, we have the Golden Fellas.
the Gouda fellas, a team that
Fellas. Oh,
contains
this
an
is
absolute abomination.
Look at that.
It's a sin.
Disgusting.
It's a sin against Snuffle. Oh. Storm Vermin. Mighty Blow, a Claw Palm on a Storm Vermin, Mighty Blow on another one. Carlo Gorgonzola, a Strength 4 Gutter Runner with Blodge. Fucking hell. That is an abomination against Snuffle.
It is.
And yeah.
Yeah, Crusader put a bounty on it because it's greater than our Lord and Savior Lurdnor.
Yep, Lurdnor can be the only Lord and Savior.
There is only one god.
Yeah, but then you look at his next gunner runner. It's Rodging. It's got Strip Ball. It's got Dauntless. Then there's another Rodging gunner runner, and he's got a Blodger gunner runner. But like James's team has taken a bit of a beating. What's he down? Like 3 players at the moment. So he'll be down 2 because he's got 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, down a couple of players. Be interesting to see where he goes. But he's got all his positionals, barring a Rat Ogre if he wants to purchase that. James is in chat. He might tell us where he's at with his next purchase. But the positionals are progressing quite nicely for him.
Yeah, supposedly he lost his Strength 4 line. So hopefully he doesn't get the Rat Ogre back for me and Tomo's sake.
Well, he's looking like he's just buying line rats from here on out, is what he's saying.
I would agree with that.
Well, with that Storm Vermin, there's not really much of a niche for the Rat Ogre.
Really, I mean, like, he's only got one strength, like only one player above Strength 3, and that's a Gutter Runner.
Yeah, like, the thing about playing Skaven, though, like, is, normally kind of, like, you think about kind of, like, caging and positioning and stuff like that, and, you think about just kind of, like, the basics of playing Blood Bowl. And then you play Skaven and you find out, like, these guys thrive whenever the game just turns into a big mess. When all the structure and everything and caging and things, you just don't let your opponent do it. You don't let them form anything that they want to do. And that's where kind of, like, just kind of individual players making, like, big impacts is, like, a lot more important than kind of, like, positioning and, you're having kind of, like, maximizing blocks and things like that. So, again, like, that Storm Vermin's a really good example for me because that's the type of guy that, you isolate, you're picking a weak opponent player and then you blitz him with Claw Palm and you remove him because that's what Claw Palm does. So I really like Skaven teams. I really like casting Skaven teams, but it usually either goes really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah. There's like the lack of tackle on James's team. I don't know whether or not that says something from his last division or whether or not. I don't think anyone expected Division 2 in the Big O to become so agility heavy as it is at the moment. But tackle is going to be a skill which I think a lot of players will be picking up quite quickly, and I think James is going to be one of those players who's looking to get it as soon as possible, as well. So,
yeah, well, if we look moving on again, if we look at Raven's Claws, the next rat team, they only have one more tackle. So they just have one, no claw palm or anything, no piling on even. So we just have to. It's interesting. Gonna be interesting to see how these all the 4 rat teams stack up, because James Typhoon's team, the Goda fellas, is actually the lowest for TV out of all of them, which is surprising when you got that bloaty Strength 4 Gutter runner running around.
Oh, you want
But
to talk
yeah,
about bloat? Like, look at this: agility 5, big hand gutter runner; agility 10, movement 10, blodging, sidestepping gutter runner. There's a decent amount of bloat just there.
I
But
love the big end.
helps them with their job. I do like this piece. I have to like the model too. Yeah, another, as you're saying though, another Skaven team. The Skaven teams all sort of seem to be doing something a little bit different too, which is kind of good.
Yeah. Again, okay, I'm immediately drawn to the Roga, and I'm drawn to like God on the Ogre. I don't know if I'd pick God, to be honest with you. Like, again, like it's as I just mentioned on Skaven. You know, I find if you're trying to outbash someone by putting guys in lots of contact and stuff and using like God that way, it's not really gonna work. Like you want to be kind of focusing on like individuals and just kind of like spoiling the game basically. I think like if that was break tackle, just so that you could kind of like just click on anyone you wanted and blitz them, I think it would have been a better pick. But
yeah, I can see what you're saying there, but like when you look at the Storm Vermin sort of scream to me that they're the blitzers of the team. And like that skill setup just says that if there's a Rat Ogre nearby, I get my assist from the Rat Ogre. I've got another Storm Vermin with guard who's sitting nearby. I can, I start getting, decent blocks. But yeah, I can certainly understand why break tackle would be such a nice choice as well. So
yeah, just talking to chat though, like if you're not gonna blitz with a Rat Ogre though, then what's the point in having the Rat Ogre in the first place? Like.
Prehensile tail.
I guess prehensile tail and strength access, sure, but he's a wild animal. In order to do anything with him, you have to either be hitting or blitzing. Otherwise, he's just going to be standing there. So.
Yeah, but you stick him next to people you stick him next to your opponent's players. He's got prehensile tail, makes them worse jumping out. And if they decide, I'm not going to risk it, then you start just throwing blocks with him. I don't mind it. I don't mind the Rat Ogre. I have a bit of a soft spot for it. But I can completely see the arguments against them, so more importantly, though, Raven's Claw has 150k in the bank and currently no bench. Do we think we'll see that rectified real quick?
Yeah, gotta just stack up on all those to get stumped.
Get 2 or 3 more. Yeah, get 2 or 3 more rats just to give yourself that bench. Sure, you're adding 150k to your TV, but you're also adding adding 3 reserves when majority of your players are armor 7. So, but yeah, I like these 2 gutter runners, the big hand gutter runner and the movement 10 gutter runner with sidestep. That's brilliant. So his one turner is even easier because he can just set it up and he can sidestep where he needs to be and then go from there. So
yeah. Well, the last team for Div 2 is Drakar's Dominators, a Norse team that came across from, I think, looking at his time zone, is East Coast US, so probably the REL. So
we just have a look at the history that they played against.
Instantly, that 5 strength break tackle wolf. That's cool.
That's a nice
cool
piece.
player.
This team.
That's so tempting to go like wrestle or something.
Oh man,
that's
like
a real conundrum.
Next level, it's 2 SPP away. Next level, Mighty Blow for sure, right?
You reckon? Over block?
Strength 5. Oh, Strength 5 Mighty Blow, so like the odds are you're always getting 2 die, even like you'll get 2 die, and then because you've got Frenzy, if you get a push, you should get the follow-up with 2 die again. I think Mighty Blow might be a nice choice there. Although that, I agree. Block is also always a pick.
Yeah. Well, see, yeah, even something like for a bit of a safety role, you wrestle tackle, that would be pretty nice. In a this team only has 1 tackle on a killer berserker, and I'm sure the other berserker will probably be skilled up with tackle next. But
yeah, well, again, it's not far off leveling up either. Like a lot of these pieces with the good skills are very close to leveling again, which just gives you more and more options. So this is a nice Norse team. If I do say so.
That strength 4 kick lineman's a bit of a disappointment, but
kick, dodge, sidestep lineman agility. agility 4. Yeah. It's the strength 4, right? Oh wow, there he is.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you're
missed
looking
him.
at
I was
AG4
looking at the
runner.
runner. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
runner's pretty good though, for sure.
That runner's nice.
Dirty play Fenn lineman, pretty
Yeah,
nice.
do you kick on a strength 4 piece? Kind of weird choice. If you didn't take kick, what do you take? It's obviously a normal role.
He probably wishes he took tackle.
Yeah, tackle.
That's probably what he's
tackle would
wishing.
be my pick. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, Div 2, the agility division. Like, if you're coming across until the divisions have been made up, you don't know who's in what division. Like, could anyone have foreseen agility, like Division 2 being so high agility? Like, yes, you want a couple of tackle pieces just to give yourself a bit of safety, but like now every team in that division is going to be scrabbling for tackle, unless you're Lark, in which case you've already got it. Like, everyone in that division is going to be going, I need to get tackle. I need to get tackle. So, but yeah, no kick. It's a strange choice. But yeah, I don't mind. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But is there anything like 150k in the bank? 3 rerolls. Got his apothecary. Do we see any? Has a referee rest area. So there is a stadium enhancement. Fucking wow! Managed to beat the Saskatoon Shiners 5-0.
Oh, poor nosedive over in the REL. That team was in a bit of pain towards the end of the season.
But yeah, so I guess that's the end of Division 2, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Someone who's not me want to have their thoughts on it?
It's hard to look past Lark in Division 2, honestly. Like, even just the way that we've been talking about teams right now, we've been talking about, how are they going to deal with Lark when they play against Lark? And, like, there is a fair amount of, like, potential claw in this division, but then, looking at it that way, it's claw, even if you get it, it's only going to be effective against Lark. It's like, it's almost as if, like, if you want to get a good position in the league, you're just going to have to bite the bullet and get, smashed by Lark, but then, try and, out agi everyone else, So,
yeah, well,
it's going
before
to
we
be hard.
started, like, I ran down the teams that, like, Claw actually is really that good against. And I got like 5 teams, maybe? Arguably 6 if you count my tree. Like, there's not Claw's not going to get a whole lot of leverage outside of playing against Lark. So, I mean, Lark's certainly going to be one of the teams to beat. You'll just have to, if Lark continues to overcommit or leave his ball free, I think that's the only time that these agility teams are going to be able to strike. Which, otherwise they'll have to play the traditional, I give you 1 block a turn. And, with tackle on basically all these pieces, it makes it a lot harder to do. But, Lark should have a very good season this time around, I think. Unless for some reason he starts rolling terribly.
I reckon the Rat Lovers are a real shot, though, to win. Those Gather Runners are just plain nasty. Other teams, even Sam Slade's Norse, are definitely an outside shot. As long as Lark doesn't tear him apart, which he doesn't have much guard, so there's a good chance they might. But I think they could be good because we know he's a good coach. He made playoffs before, And you can't count anyone out of this division, though, because everyone is quite decent teams. Even the old Hobart Honey Badgers, that's probably who my favourite team is going to be from this thing. If they can get those key development on the Mighty Blow catcher, the AG5 catcher, if they can get that ASAP, that'll be scary too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess it's time we look at the big boys of the Big O.
All right, guys, I might have to go. This has already gone on for an hour and 3/4, so yeah, sorry about that.
I think that's okay. We knew this one was going to be a long one, didn't we?
Yeah, wasn't quite expecting it to be this long.
well.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, if you guys want to just keep going, I don't really care if you guys keep going. If you want to keep doing that.
Well, I mean, we've got one
Well,
division
team.
left. I think we probably should, right?
yeah, we'll keep
Yeah.
going. If Papa Nasty or someone's in chat and they want to jump in, we can keep going with the 3 people. If he's around, I don't know if he is.
We're in my vape den if anyone needs directions. Do we start with we start going through them again, I guess?
Yeah, okay, let's go on to Div 1. I have a request if we can start at the bottom though and work our way to the top, just so it's not like completely disappointing. AKA I'll talk about my team first, and then, people just aren't, so anticlimactic about it,
I think you're doing your team a disservice, man. I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
I don't. But anyway.
Fair
So,
enough.
yeah.
So, Echoes of Off-White.
Yeah.
Take it away, Tomo.
So this is my team. We've had a bit of a rough postseason, both me and my team.
I was going to make that joke, damn it.
Yeah, me and Miraskadu both killed each other's killers. So we've kind of, defanged each other a little bit. Apart from that, though, the one good thing to come out from my team is I've managed to really cement blodge, like, everywhere. I figure, like, the dice aren't going to go well my way anyway, so I might as well just make sure I've got enough blodge to make sure that, there's only a limited amount of ways that the dice can kind of screw me over. So that's kind of,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
my plan. My project player at the minute is Asurian, who I'm really looking forward towards getting things like Leap and building into a big cage diver. Apart from that, it's just kind of, fairly standard. Auric gets the ball and runs it down the field. The Witch Elves are there for the sideline control. And, everyone else is just kind of, like, super consistent. I think I could do with a bit more tackle, but you could always do with a bit more tackle. And most of the linemen, when they level up from here, are going to be getting wrestle rather than block, just to make them a little bit more intimidating to hit.
Source in chat saying you need to buy assassins. Look, for the comedy factor, I would agree, but for wanting to do well, I know.
No, I'm really not a fan of assassins. So.
Someone has joined us. Potential fan of assassins? Oh, Miraskadu. He's muted himself. There he is.
Hi ho. Just starting Blood Bowl.
Hi there. That's all right, man. No, I like where your team's heading, Tomo. Yeah, your Witch Elves are doing good. The Blitzers, aside from the killer being shuffled off into the next world, I think you're in with a decent chance. I mean, as long as luck holds out on your side, and you don't get embolisms in your lungs and your players die, you'll be fine.
Yeah, something like that. We'll see. I still think there's a big power gap between kind of my team and the rest of the teams in the division. I bought up to 13 players today just to make sure I had enough subs getting going on, because I'm gonna need them against all of the really well developed teams, like Batch Incorporated and the Astro Orcs and a lot of the other big things that are really big teams that are really good at removing pieces. So I'm not entirely sure this season's going to be super fun on from a competitive standpoint, but I'm sure it'll be fun just watching what happens. So.
Mate, I look forward to either watching your games as you cast them or casting them for you or whatever happens. Which is something I can say about pretty much every division, all the divisions as a big O. There's going to be good matches everywhere. But do we want to move on to Crushervania?
Yep. Okay, Crushervania. Where are you?
They'll be on page 1. Excuse me.
Yes, they are.
Drac Tactics with Crushervania.
Yeah, got him up.
I don't want to hear about you getting things up, Miraskadu.
Nah, I got the team up, not me up. Whatever.
Oh, well, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, keeping it PG.
Yeah, it's always important.
The good thing I like about that team to see there is no mighty blow on the wolves.
Says Miraskadu, the coach of the Lizardmen in the Big O Division 1. Yep. There is a Mighty Blow Flesh Golem who is movement busted, at the very least.
So a mummy.
Yeah, he's a wannabe
Yeah,
mummy.
yeah.
Yeah, we've been seeing
Yeah,
that
easy
for a long
enough to
time.
maneuver around.
Yeah. Another thing we've been talking about this team for a long time, like Crusaders is a team that I know quite well because I was kind of like close to the top of the division with Crusaders for like a long while before the
Yeah, you
season
guys were in
started
Division
going.
3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That jump up werewolf, like as soon as we saw jump up on that werewolf, we're like, what are you doing taking jump up on a werewolf? But then when you're
It's
playing,
so good.
when you're playing against him, you just forget. I swear to God, you just forget. You think, right, there's a wolf down. I'm gonna mark him, so the next time he gets up, I can just hit him. Or, oh, there's a wolf down. You know what? He's on the floor. I can just kind of cage around him and not be worried too much. Like, no, like you just forget, and then he just punishes you, and it's awful. It's the worst feeling ever. So like, I used to look at that and think, oh, that's a bit of a speculative pick and everything there, but it really does like work out well for him.
It's a really aggressive build on. No worries. It's a really aggressive build on the wolf with going jump up, then strip ball, and then wrestle, and most likely then dodge. So taking the wrestle dodge all the way to the end.
Look, I agree. It's very aggressive, and you know what it screams to me? It screams that Drac Tactics had a plan day one for this werewolf. Because as you say, like jump up, it's an odd skill. I don't think anyone there can say that it's not an odd skill as your first skill pick. But it screams to me. I have had a plan for this werewolf since. Jump up, strip ball, wrestle. Great combination. So, look forward to good things to come.
Yeah. Also, it's like, yeah, his schools are fine with one sure hand, one wrestle dodge, a watcher. That's okay. One guard on the zombie.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy with those ghouls and how they're progressing. Guard on a zombie, you'd like a little bit more, but a lot of these zombies are rookies. So
yeah, but the same thing is like I think
Yeah.
he's going to be a similar position than Tomo is, or some of the whole Division 1 are. We have our other split with a fair few teams around sitting at 1,500, 1,600 teams. And then we have the other half sitting at 1,700, 1,800 and above.
Yeah.
Just like, so you either way playing on the same playing field or you're getting at least 300,000 in inducement. So it's going to be interesting in Div 1.
Yeah. Like these whites, one with the agility up. That's good. The other white not have there's a white and the flesh golem there, both rookies. Are they new replacements? Have they played any games? Lost has played 9, and the flesh golem
Has played 4.
So they're reasonably new replacements. I think Drac Tactics will be looking to get those guys rolling real quick. But yeah, otherwise it's not a bad team. I'd be interested to see where the second werewolf goes. The ghouls are good, and then a smattering of more guard, and I think Drac will be in a great place.
What are you going to do with that 200,000, do you think? Do you upgrade your stadium, start looking towards an enhancement, or do you think about something else?
Well, he's got 14 players. I think dumping it into a stadium is probably his best option at this point in time. What stadium do you take?
He needs a stadium level 2 first. He has only a level 1 stadium.
No, he has 2. How much is it to get to level 2?
I think 100k as well.
Yeah, it's 100k to upgrade, yeah.
Then you got 100k left over to replace someone.
You might as well dump it.
Yeah, buy the upgrade, buy the stadium level up, and then do you hold on to 100k for the first couple of games just to see how things play out?
Yeah, I would not go down to 0 in the bank, to be honest. Because that's way too risky. Because if then a white dies or a golem dies, just like, what do I do now?
Yeah. But you don't want to be holding on to 200k going into your first game, because then you're giving up TV because it starts to count towards your team value. So, James saying Surf Stadium. Yeah, I don't dislike it.
I just like the Surf Stadium on principle.
Of course you do.
For one reason, if I am able to serve players of my opponent, I am already winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a plain win more stadium. It doesn't help me if I'm losing, or it doesn't help me if the teams are somehow on par. Because
Sure.
surfing for me means I remove one of your players and he is off the field. With any other stadium upgrade, I can actually either hinder me falling behind or actually helping me trying to effort something out. While surfing is like, I like to surf. I don't care if that gives +1 on the surf for the injury roll. Because I'm just happy with the player being off the drive and off the field.
Yeah. Reese is suggesting the Wizard Stadium. Yeah, don't mind that. A zombie could very easily take dirty player, and you could start getting the bribes. But do you really want to be throwing bribes against your werewolves? Not sure.
Do me
Security gates
as
a
an
good
favor.
choice.
Don't get the Wizard Stadium until Cyanide has fixed the bug.
Yeah. Oh, for the love of God. Look, if anyone gets caught using the Wizard exploit, I'm sure that there are going to be some fairly harsh repercussions for that. So, pro tip, don't do it.
Yeah, and Wizard Stadium literally is just like, rolling dice. It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can understand Wizard Stadium on a high TV team, because if I'm anyway giving a Wizard to my opponent, I might as well get one for free as well.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, you lock them out of purchase. I mean, like, but then you're just giving them more money to purchase other things with. But yeah, you getting something out of it as well.
Yep.
So, another team that moved up, Walk Machine.
Yeah, another former Div 3 team, coached by Lyscaris that I know quite well. Basically, this team last season was just Bash Incorporated Junior. Like, just like mighty blow everywhere. They were just another terror to play against, and they've been getting like a lot of guard and everything as well. It looks like he might have been having a little bit more of a rougher time recently, maybe in his Did he?
Yeah, this season it's now We Need Linemen Incorporated.
Yeah, he lost some linemen, but his basic players are still there.
Yeah, as long as you're losing linemen, you don't really care. Seemingly has like suffered the death of a Black Orc. You got one with 2 SPP, and you've got another one who's only got block. How many games has AGS played? 15 matches. Yeah. But yeah. Do we has the troll? Are we in a world where goblins are a purchase? No. I don't remember if Lascaris was like a goblin throwing orc player.
Tomo?
No, he wasn't. Lyscaris is just like a really consistent, like, my guys are gonna punch you and it's gonna hurt player. Look, you just run out of players. At least last season, I'm pretty sure that he got rid of all of my I just didn't have enough players on the pitch to compete with them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Any standout players for you there, Tomo?
My favorite.
Is it all orcs? They're bash you in the face.
Okay. My favorite player, actually, it's a little bit of a kind of like a pick out of left field, is Lefty Leroy II with the movement, and it's purely because I'm only guessing, so I can't say this 100%, but I'm pretty sure Lyscaris is a run the ball with a blitzer coach, and that's how I like to see orcs played. You kind of you use the movement of the blitzer. You keep your team being super TV efficient. And you play through that way. You run the ball with a blitzer, so that's he's my standout player to watch. If he does that, if he doesn't do that, then yeah, any of his blitzers really are looking super good. And he's got a pseudo big guy in prime as well. So
yeah, like Rido Scott II, agility 4. He's also not a bad candidate to give the ball. But with guard, he's probably more likely sitting on a cage corner somewhere. Yeah, I like this team. I like the way Lascaris is building his team. I think it's going to go places.
Yeah, but as soon as I think you get either a movement or agility up on a blitzer, you don't have to keep your thrower on anymore as an orc team, because you get a ball carrier instantaneously.
Yeah. I mean, like, agility 3 is not even that bad to pick up a ball and move with it, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on the middle of keeping my carrier or my thrower on an orc team or not. So if I get a blitzer with
agility up, yep.
Yeah, once I get a nice blitzer where I can give the ball to pretty much on the same rolls, it's just like, yeah, sorry, thrower, you're bye-bye.
Yeah. Reese saying agility 3 is fit. Oh, I like this team. It'd be interesting to see how moving up from Division 3 to Division 1, and it's going to be daunting, I believe. Like, I think, Tomo, you'll probably feel somewhat similar because you were down in the Division 3, but there's some big names in Division 1, some great coaches and some great teams, so it'd be good to see if Hal Lascaris steps up to the plate now he's in the big leagues. And I'm sure he'll do admirably.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a very good player, Lascaris.
He did fine in the playoffs, didn't he?
Wolf Machine? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Played one. Yeah, he played one game. Lost it against the Chaos 2-1, which is fair.
Which team?
Konago Kanogas.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
But the next team we have to look at, we have the Inside Scoop, don't we?
All right, okay.
Inside Scoop. Mariscati, your team.
My team. What was I saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a team
Tardis.
with Inside Scoop.
You know everything there is to know about this team. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I lost Missy against I lost River Song against Tomo on the last spin. God, I hate it. I hate Apples.
Dead Abo Dead, wasn't it?
Dead Apple Dead. Turn 16. Last 2 die. Just into a power, into dead, into 2 die, into dead. It was just like last block of the game. Thanks.
Cheers, Blood Bowl, cheers.
Yep. It was Lies with block, mighty blow, and break tackle. So yeah, kind of gonna miss her.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah, I have a whole new circumference of skinks playing this season. I didn't keep a single one from last season. They all pretty much. I think Rory got into the team somewhere during last season, but he was not there from the start. So all of them died, got fired, and got rehired.
Yep. Did you sell them to the free agency, or did you just have the money left over every?
They all got either way nickeled, armor busted, agility busted, or straight up killed.
Right.
It was like, there was no selling, there was no thinking about it. It was just like, yeah, you're gone.
Yep, sure.
And now I'm gonna do a handbag. Thank you.
Send it home to the missus, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, other than that, I'm actually kind of happy where the team is at the moment. I'm still debating what I'm gonna get on Rose when she levels up. Either way, debating between a third Mighty Blow or actually getting a block Frenzy Saurus.
Ooh, that's a nice little combination.
Yeah. Because block Frenzy would allow me to put my Croxicore in the middle with the other guard player in the middle and just blocking out the middle and pretty much forcing the player to take the sidelines.
Yep.
And then coming with movement 6 and Frenzy. And go,
is there any consideration for guard on Rose, or are you just like, you dead set pretty much keen on Frenzy?
It will be either way Mighty Blow or Frenzy. It will not be guard. I have 2 guard pieces. Either one on the Crocs, one on the other Saurus. And with strength 4 all around. We don't have any guard spammy team in Div 1.
Sure.
Because Papa Nasty had some guard, but he lost half of his Black Orcs. So,
yeah, that was a brutal match.
Yep. So there's nothing actually that really outstrengths me. So guard is not really needed.
Sure.
Yeah. And just hoping for a good winning roll for money at the end of my first game so I can buy me a 5th skink.
Sure.
Because literally 4 skink it's not enough.
No, it's asking for a bit of trouble, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, having played against you, you know what you got to do. So should as long as luck prevails, you should do quite well.
Yep, as long as Melody now and Master can get to their either to the first or then to the second level, respectively, I'm really happy with the team.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So after TARDIS, it's Wesley C with Wesley Wolves.
I like how the teams are now in order.
Yeah, be like the Div 2 coaches that came up now, won't they?
Yeah, he absolutely was. Yeah, and this is not a bad team at all. Wes C did quite well in his playoff run, and has managed to craft himself quite a nice little team. Even if he has got 2 players who need level ups, so do we just not talk about him now?
No, you need to shame him a little bit. I can't remember if they
Yeah.
leveled up after his game against me, was it? Or was that... Yeah, so I was the last
It'll
person
be
that
after
he
his last
played.
match, yeah.
So...
You
That's
managed
pretty
to win
cool.
there. How was that game?
I think the only reason I won that is because during like his first drive, like his offensive drive, he managed to get the ball in the hands of a flesh golem, Little Igor, and then he decided that he was going to score on Little Igor before my elves came back and had a chance to try and hit him. So because that happened, I had enough time to eventually kind of, like score in that half and then score in my own half to take the game
Sure.
2-1. But if he was playing, if this was a league game, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. Like he had more than enough players and everything alive and around and everything to, completely seal me off and, completely ruin my chances. He was just thinking about the SPP and he didn't need the money apparently, so yeah.
Yeah, with this team
Fair
at the
enough.
moment, what do you want to do with money?
Yeah.
What are you going to buy? Another zombie? Why? You already have 3 on the bench.
Yep. No, I completely agree. Like West Seas, like the team's called West Seas Wolves, and his werewolves have been, really, really strong all the time. He's got Blodge
Yeah.
on both of them, Step and Tackle on one, with Mighty Blow on the other one. So he's got kind of, like some guy who can be, like a decent ball carrier there, and like the other one would be like an elite blitzer. Although you can blitzer is just as good with the tackle depending on who he needs to hit. If they've got dodge or something and you really need to bring him around, then yeah, blitz with Jenkins instead. His fleshies are super strong. His whites are looking, well, one of them's looking fairly consistent with guard and everything, whereas the other one's only got 1 SPP out of 6. But again, that's fine. You just kind of set yourself up for an MVP.
Yeah, he's just 3 matches old, so he's utterly fresh, the other white. Yeah, but it's like, as far as I remember, Vessi likes to carry with the schools. Might have been too because he used to have an edgy 4 ghoul.
Right.
In the playoffs. Which kind of got canned, I think, in the playoffs. I think he lost armor, if I recall correctly. But not sure. Other than that, it's just like you literally pick up the ball with a ghoul and just use the 2 wolves to screen and hit and just cause pain on the other team.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is what Necro does, and this team is built for that. So.
Yeah, and West Sea, he's a competent coach. He can get a little. I found he can get a little sidetracked on some of the big, like, scary players. He'll try and spend some time removing them, and it can give you the opening you need to score against him. But as long as he can sort of rein that in a little bit and focus, he should go far. So. Yeah. Not much else
His
to say on that team, I guess.
was like the standard errors normally came when he was playing, in his mind, weaker teams or easier games, and then he just zones out.
Yeah. You won't have that opportunity this time around because he's now. But Lynx, who I believe is still suffering PTSD from failed handoffs, but can the Capital Rats, bring him back to sanity? Bottom line, first on the left. This is a team that's got quite a lot of crosses sitting next to some of these players.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about keeping all those on the team.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable decisions here. But, I mean, at some point you sort of just have to go, well, I'll keep it until I can get something better. It's not so bad in Lyman.
Yeah, I don't mind the movement loss.
No, it's not terrible. It's not career ending.
The kick has double niggle.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Why are you keeping that? Lynx, why are you keeping some of these players? Like Lyman, you just cycle through them. So I like the thrower. It's you kick off return. Not a bad little piece.
I would have actually gone for block by then at that point. It's like, because at the moment that thrower is not really safe to hold the ball onto.
He's not, but he has accurate. He's got leader. He's got sure hand. He's got pass. He's got kickoff return. He could safely sit back a bit deeper and throw some passes that you might otherwise consider not doing.
Yeah, like I don't
Um,
mind taking the leader and accurate first, but I would have taken block instead of kickoff return,
Sure.
just to make him a little bit safer. Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
M-turn.
as soon as someone runs through or gets someone through the line in the middle and starts pressuring you,
Yeah,
you pretty much have
he's
to.
a little exposed. Yeah.
You pretty much have to pass.
M-turn. Yeah, he doesn't have too many options at that point, does he? Because he can't take the hit.
I don't want to talk about Turnbull.
Turnbull's a nice piece. Dauntless, claw palm, tackle, block, discuss.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a killer
nice
weapon.
piece. Yeah. Eric Abbott's the second. Movement busted. Guard, mighty low, dauntless.
I think it's fine.
Somewhat generic. Yeah. P. Costello is a bit of a star, though. What is he? Movement 10, agility 5, sidestep, lodge, and sprint. So there's your one turner.
Yeah, but like
He doesn't even need a push on the line of scrimmage. He just needs to be standing on the line and goes, "Blue."
yeah, that's definitely like an advantage and everything, but like P. Costello's he's the player that you don't have on the field on your your defensive drive, and then you look at it and it's like 210,000 TV that you're not really doing anything with for half the game.
Oh, but he's still he'll still get his worth out of it, I think. If you one turn like with P. Costello, like every the end of each of like say the first half, and then I still think he's getting value out of it.
Yeah, I'm not keen on the Agi pick there. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I don't know.
I do
can
like the
understand
next gunner.
I would still keep him. I would still use him as a one-turner. And even as a one-turner, pretty much just like with Agility 5, he just dodges so freaking easy to the other tackle zones, but you can step in the backfield. Because even if if you set it up mean, it becomes a 2+, just 2 pluses, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind. I think he's a nice piece. C. Bernardi, also not a bad little gunner runner. Fend, a cheeky pick there, I think. Sidestep and Fend, really nice little combination.
I'm not too keen on the extra arms. Honestly, I think
You don't like the
sure
extra
hands
arms?
would normally be better for picking the ball up. But what else does it do? Extra arms?
catch.
Pick
and
up, catch, or intercept.
Yeah.
Most of the time that's for picking the ball up, isn't it? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure hands just normally would be better. I think.
Sure hands is certainly would certainly protect him against strip ball. But
Even on agility 4, it's just like, why are you picking extra hands? Just from probability point of view. Yes, you're picking up the ball then with more or less agility 5, which lets you ignore one tackle zone. Big hand would let you do the same.
Mhm.
Sure hands would actually give you a reroll, and if a rerolled agility 3 pickup is better stats wise than a non-rerolled agility 4, because the one is a 1 in 6, the other one is a 1 in 9 failure.
Sure.
I don't mind extra hands on an agility 3 player if you don't have an agility 4 ball carrier, see Chaos or other teams. But on agility 4, I just like, it's kind of a waste.
Sure. So some polarizing choice, C. Bernardi. But I love Fend on that piece though. It's so cheeky. But yeah, so the rest of the team, B. Chopper Bishop. What we got there? We got rodging, catching, stepping. Anything to say on that piece? It's sort of fairly generic, really, isn't it?
I think the fact that he's even thinking about catch is really interesting. It's like it opens up the door of actually using your thrower as a thrower. If he's saying, okay, this is my receiver, gutter runner, who's going to be the threat downfield, it almost opens the game up for you to play a little bit like High Elves instead of like, like
instead of relying on your throw to be the ball carrier.
Exactly, like if you get that gutter runner pretty much anywhere, he's so fast. You get them anywhere inside the opponent's half, and if you manage to, get the ball into his hands, it's a scar, But
do we see sure hands in Bishop's immediate future, or do we see a different selection of skill there?
In whose, sorry?
B chopper bishops, the catch
The one.
gutter runner.
Why would you give the one with catch shoe hands?
So you avoid potentially getting strip balled.
Nah.
I think he keeps the ball on Abbott until he can score.
Yeah.
So if he
Sure.
gets shoe hands, get it onto Abbott.
Yep, sure.
But yeah, Abbott starts with sure hands being a
being
screaming thrower. But no, like I'm not taking sure hands on like Bishop. Like I don't think strip ball's not really a concern because you're just gonna be getting the ball to him and then run it in. The only, like I said, the only other player I would consider sure hands on is C Bernardi, and that would be instead of the extra arms, just for the extra reroll picking it up. Like the whole strip ball consideration doesn't really come into it for me.
And then the rest of the team's sort of fairly generic, disregarding the injuries, of course. Morrison the second with dodge, and then the dirty player block, kick, and wrestle lineman, who are all injured in one form.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Like, I know everyone was like, all the crosses and everything, but I don't hate that much. I mean, these guys are gonna die by themselves eventually. You might as well just let nature shake its course. So.
Yeah, but it's niggles, and with all the niggles, he is literally giving away a wizard to his opponent, unless compared to not having them.
Yeah.
And how long is actually literally a niggled player with AB7, or then it's going to be staying on the pitch?
Well, yeah, I guess.
But if you put those linemen, let's say you put those linemen against the line of scrimmage against Papanasti's team, he's just going to take one blitzer, going to punch him with Mighty Blow, pretty much going to knock him down, and then going to pile on him.
Yeah.
It's pretty much after that, okay, yeah, that's one player gone directly from the field, and then you're left with 10.
Sure.
That's why I don't like nickel, and I'm even thinking about firing people with 89 nickel. Because as soon as they get removed from the pitch, I'm down one player.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. It'd be interesting to see where Link goes from here, I think. A lot of injuries on his side of the field. Like the one there that I don't think anyone has a concern with keeping is probably the Storm Vermin. Movement 6 Storm Vermin. It's not terrible. It's not great, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, so
Well.
Moving on to the next team is the Barrier Butchers,
who do not appear to be in the list. So I guess we'll have to go find them.
They are in the Big O. They already accepted the ticket.
Yeah, but they're not in our little spy league, so we'll just search them up. Who did this? I mean, seriously. Liam. I'm blaming Liam.
Okay, I've got them.
Okay.
Sweet. There they are. 1560 for a human team. Respectable. And a respectable looking team, too. From Starkweather.
Yeah, is he cycled that ogre? Or... I don't know, I don't remember.
I don't know. It's got a couple of skills on it. How many games has it played? It's played 30 matches, so I'm guessing no.
Alright, okay.
Maybe someone else will know. So,
yeah.
how are you feeling, guys?
The obvious thing to look at first is, as Reese is saying in chat, yeah, Lynch is pretty hilarious.
He's not bad at all.
He's
That's a Griff in the making.
It's a gutter runner right there, or Griff even. Like movement 9, Agi 4, Blodge, Step. Yeah, he can one-turn ridiculously easy.
It's a very expensive gutter runner, is what it is.
Yeah, but it's a gutter runner with strength 3, armor 8 on a human team.
Exactly, yeah. On a human team is the big thing.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but the Lynch is 250k in TV right there. Like, he's a bloaty piece, if we want to talk about bloat. But I like him. He's entertaining. hopefully will lead to entertaining matches.
He is cloudy, but he does a really, really good job for the humans, because by that he more or less can... I wouldn't send him by himself up, but that means the humans don't have to push so far down the other field to become actually a scoring threat.
I agree. Or potentially he's a really decent safety too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can basically cover the pitch and have a lodge. So he's not a bad little safety. He's on his way to legendary. Will he make it to legend? Or will someone take offense to him and kill him?
With those stats, he actually might.
Yeah,
because he can score rather easy and rack up SPP.
Yeah, as long as he's defended properly, I think it's a definite chance of making legend.
T on Discord chat for the RP for our D&D sessions, just saying, Crusader, that Blitzer is baller. You leave him alone. Oh man. No, I look. I don't mind him. I don't mind him at all. I just think he's going to be a big target. That's all I'm saying. I think he's got a big target over his head. And if he gets removed, I mean, it's not so bad for Stark. I guess he loses 250k off of his TV right there. So inducements become a little more tasty for him, don't they?
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not too proficient with humans. I sort of shied away from them when I first learned how to play, and have since not really played too many with humans too much. So is this like a typical progression for human team, or are we seeing something slightly off the wall?
I would say it's pretty typical. You have kind of, like your killer, everyone else, you got, block everywhere, you got lots of guard and stuff. Lynch is just, you just, with Lynch you just do what Nuffle tells you, and you're fine with that. The only humans are cheap
Close
enough.
your eyes.
Yeah, humans are cheap enough that fouling is okay on it. So you got the dirty player there as well, which I like. The only thing that kind of has me rubbing my head a little bit, thinking asking why is fend first on garnets. Maybe it's just I love bludge and stuff so much, but I still think that should have been either kind of block or wrestle if you want to keep them around for a while.
He just wants to be a Praetorian peasant. Maybe he comes from those lands in the Empire that are really close to Praetorian. So the cultures mix a little bit, and he's not sure where he truly belongs.
So you got armor 8 and agility 3, but got fend.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not so sure about the Nerves of Steel, to be honest, on the thrower.
It's agility 4 with Nerves of Steel. I don't mind that too much, to be honest. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't know if
You were already agility 4 when he rolled it. You were already agility 4, so that means you can pretty much easily dodge out if you are marked.
Well, I mean, he can, but he has to make dodge rolls when he can just simply pass the ball and ignore tackle zones.
Yeah, but then you're rolling, intercept rolls depending on where you're passing.
Yeah, but an intercept roll is worse than a dodge roll.
I don't know. I would still tend towards dodge in that situation, honestly. If Reese is saying it's a ball retrieval priest, then yeah, that's kind of good. You can kind of just run in, pick the ball up, and then use your Nerves of Steel to pass it out to someone else to run the ball away. But
yeah, I don't mind it. I like to see more passing skills. I do like the passing game. Right.
Yeah.
That's just.
Oh, this team is set up for passing play for humans, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. Agility 4 passer, agility 4 thrower, and an agility 4 catcher.
And an agility 4 blitzer with his one turner. So he has 2 agility 4 receivers up front, one with catch, the other one who just licks it.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Don't mind that combination of skills at all. So
you can play that actually like a normal freaking football team from America. You send the blitzer down as a running back, and you set the catcher as a wide receiver.
Yep.
It's like, hey.
Yep. Yeah,
and just hope they don't die on their way.
Yeah, exactly right. Quarterback is MNG. Maybe he has a media scandal against him. Who knows? I might make something up. So, a favorite of my stream. Not saying that people, other teams aren't, but a much beloved game to cast in my stream is Bash Incorporated. never fail to be a decent watch. Papa Nasty has crafted quite a nasty little orc team here.
It's decent to watch, not decent to play.
I don't have to play it, so I'm okay. But yeah, I quite like Papa Nasty's team.
One of the Blitzers actually got an injury since last time I looked at it. Got a movement busted, which is not too bad. With movement, mighty blow, pylon, jump up, tackle, stand firm. He's still fine.
Yeah, well, what do you care if you've got a minus movement, if you've got everything else that you need in the world?
Yeah, like movement bust normally is like doesn't bust level 6 player anymore.
No, does it bust, like, does a movement bust really hurt an orc blitzer that much either?
It can do sometimes. Like, not in this situation, I don't think. But he's just running up to the nearest guy and hitting him if he has to. The thing that makes me super sad from my point of view looking at this team is that every single one of those scary blitzers has tackle. And I'm just like, you know, like...
Yep. And I don't like that Papa refers to my skinks as pinatas, so...
Reese in chat saying you probably want to play Papa week 1 whilst he's a black orc down and has one with no skills. Yeah, I think that is a very safe assumption.
If I get Papa week 1, I wouldn't be crying about it.
No. I mean,
because he's down. He has only one guard left. Okay, sure, it's a blotched black orc guard, but he is down one black orc with guard. He has one unskilled black orc with nothing. He has a block black orc.
But
yes, his splitters will get punches, but not much.
Oh, I was just going to say, let's be fair, though. There are 4 blitzers who are just dedicated killers. Like, that's what they do. That is their life. They like doing it. They're happy with their job. You know, I'm sure their job satisfaction reviews have been, yes, happy with what I do. Happy with how I get to play the game. Like,
but to quote Papa on that, he stated that he needs his Black Orcs to actually be there for his blitzers to support him.
Mm-hmm.
Because blitzers are still only strength 3. So to get 2 dice with the blitzers on a regular basis, you need the guard in the middle. You need the Black Orc to stand there with his guard and go like, yeah, I'm helping you out. Just hit him. It's fine. I don't need to hit. I'm just going to be standing here around twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah.
If you remove the Black Orcs from Papa's team, which the one guard now is completely gone, and the other completely unskilled, I don't think you shouldn't go for a full bash, but he will be hard-pressed to get then actually all the 2-die blocks in for the removals he needs.
Yep. Papa Nasty's actually saying that he hopes he doesn't get walkathon in the first week. So...
That's somewhat interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think
it is.
I think everyone in the division, they look at this and they think, okay, this is gonna hurt. That's exactly what it's designed to do. So, yeah.
It's a niggle.
Yeah, it's a niggle. Niggle on the black.
It's a niggle. Yep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but like Armor 9, whatever. Play him until he dies. Because like Armor 9 is gonna be hard enough to bust anyway. But Astrox, the next Orc team, and if I remember correctly, Walkathon plays a slightly different game to Papa Nasty when it comes to how he runs his Orcs.
Yes.
And if Walker is
plays them in general.
He's the only one that hasn't accepted his ticket for Div 1.
Who, Walkathon?
Yeah.
Walkathon, what the hell are you doing? Is he watching?
I don't think so.
If he's watching, how about if he's watching, we just refuse to cover his content, cover his team? Well, he's not, so I guess we have to now.
Yeah, Walkathon was the coach that when he first made this team, it had like guard like all over the place. It was like impossible to get 2 dice blocks, and then watching like the games and things he's played. So it's kind of like a contrast in styles. Where if you look at like Papa Nasty, like his entire team is like I'm gonna kill you, but like with Walkathon, it was a lot more like you can't hit me. Like since then, Walkathon started to get a lot more of the removal skills himself, so he's still super super scary. But
let's be honest though, like orcs in general are fairly scary.
Yes.
Once, like when they're starting off, not so much. I mean, you got to worry about blitzes who have block, but Black Orcs, they start leveling, they start hitting like freight trains, like you know. So yeah, if you play against the Orcs early, happy days. But as soon as you start playing against them, and they've got guard, they've got mighty blow, they've got block on their Black Orcs, things start to get a little more pear shaped, fairly quickly. So interesting,
a really good patch.
Yeah, they're that. And I said it earlier. I've said it a couple of times. Orcs actually are pretty good against the bash teams, and they're pretty good against the agility teams. They're like sort of split down the middle. They can play both those teams quite well. The troll being MNG'd, kind of entertaining. Don't know what happened there, but I'm sure it was funny. A blitzer who is also missing his next game with a minus movement and a niggle on the guard diving tackle stand firm blitzer. How do you feel about that, guys? Minus movement and a niggle.
On a level 4 blitzer, since he has diving tackle and stand form, he wants to mark people, so that blitzer will get hit repeatedly.
It's only a matter of time before armor 9 breaks.
Yeah.
I'd still keep
it's only a matter of time before.
Sorry?
I'd keep that. I'd keep that until it does break. Like, he's just, with those amount of skills and things, he's still going to be doing a good job, so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There are certain pieces that once they get that niggle and a movement bust, that's it. You take them out behind the sheds and you shoot them. But when it comes to blitzer on an orc with this amount of skills, I think playing him until he dies is not a bad option. The only downside I can see to that though is, and it's one that every sort of player has, is if you don't fire them, you can't replace them and start leveling up another piece. So it's a weird kind of balancing act between, having your skills there or, starting to level up a new piece. But yeah, I don't mind keeping him. And a Black Orc that is currently MNG, a little disappointing, I think, for Walkathon.
Yeah, but then on the other side, it's like Reese just mentioned as well, just looked it up. Yeah, Walker still has 3 spins left. So, yeah, fair point. Fair point that he has not accepted his ticket.
Yeah, he's got what? When did he have to accept the ticket by? The 31st or the 1st? Something like that?
First start the league starts and beforehand, so by the 31st.
Yeah, sure. So he's got a couple of days left to get 3 spin games in.
Yeah.
Now would be an opportune time for some people to strike.
Like now that actually playing against Walker's Orcs, if you're similar to V, is not that bad. When all the MNGs and the injuries come back, that team just pops up in TV back to 1800 where it used to be.
Yeah. But it's Walkathon does what Walkathon does. He's a good coach, and his team is actually quite good.
But depends. Like, I would be debating eventually. It's like with a blitzer, because you have 3 spin games left. Do you then actually hire a new blitzer and try to build them up during your spin games?
Well, that's what I'm wondering myself. But like, what do blitzers start with? They start with block.
Yeah, nothing.
They don't start with any removal skills. So then you have to prioritize. Yeah, that's true too. That is very true. But then you're prioritizing giving points to a guy that you got to rebuild. You've got a lineman who's 1 SPP away from leveling. You got another lineman who's 3 SPP away from leveling. You can and Black Orcs that are close.
Yeah. Or keep them on for the season and write the AB9 and hope that it doesn't break.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like if I would be playing against him with a fouling, if I would have a fouling piece, which I don't, but as a team that can foul, I would knock them down and then literally start fouling that blitzer.
Yeah.
Because with Dirty Player and Niggle, it's just an offering.
Yeah. Reese is saying diving tackle stand firm is too amazing to give up. Yeah, and it is. Stand firm, diving tackle, great stand skills.
Yeah.
But Reese's Ravens are the next team on the list.
Yep. Moving on. It's a team that I think we're all glad to see back, that we weren't sure that if we would see back at all. But, yep, here they are. He's still got his, so it's typical kind of, Praetorian thing. He has his 4 blitzers, 4 blockers, and the rest being his, peasants, his linemen. The stars of the show are definitely the blitzers. He always managed just to roll steroids of some kind on his blitzers, does Reese. Which is, really interesting to see. Usually, they're basically elves, his blitzers at the minute. Except one of them is AV busted, but he's got Mighty Blow instead to make up for it. So he's still kind of pulling his weight, and he has 2 blockers with Mighty Blow as well. A decent chunk of guard in the team, and the dirty player as well. And look, like we said, a great coach. He knows how to get the most out of this team. Like I know he was a little bit disillusioned and everything with it, so he tried a few other things like the Grift team in the Chaos Cup, and he thought about playing like Necros and stuff at some point. But this Praetorian team's kind of it's really worked out well for him over the last couple of seasons. So I'm personally just glad to see him still playing it. So yeah.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Reese knows how to play Praetonians. I'm not saying he doesn't know how to play other teams, but if there's a Praetonian coach out there that people fear, it's going to be Reese. Just because he's so adept. Arthur Pendragon, well on his way to returning to form from his, 5th death now or something like that? Is this like the 5th iteration of Arthur?
You're not far off. If it isn't.
Yeah, something stupid like that. We saw it last season. Like Reese knows how to play. It's the 4th Arthur. Reese knows how to play Praetonians.
And 3 agility 4 pieces of knights make Praetonians.
Really, yeah, exactly really right. Yeah. It's like I'm like that. Like Odin is basically, as I said before, he's basically a war dancer now with his armor bust, and he has blodge. Sure, he doesn't have leap, but like he's got skills there that'll get the shit. He'll get the job done. I like this team. I've always liked this team. I think they're a good team.
Yeah. Like I don't mind keeping the knight with an armor 7. Normally it's like armor bust is actually saying a firing offense or gets close to it. But if you got some skills underneath that you can't be punched, like blodge, it's just like, yeah, then I'm just gonna play with an elf. Sure. And he has edge 4, so he is an elf. It's just like, yeah, why not?
Sure.
Just don't put him on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Reese is saying, need to level the blockers so I can replace Harald. Oh, no, not Harold. Harold Hadrada. Oh,
it's
that is
Harold.
Sad.
Yeah, Harold is nickeled.
What?
And yeah, that's a fair call.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Harold's not nickeled. Chew. Yes, wrong
Chew's
guy.
nickeled, yeah, sorry.
I was going to sit there like, why would you want to replace Harold? Like, he's a great piece.
No, he got the wrong guy as well. See? I'm on the
Reese,
same... I'm on
you're
the
coach,
I'm
man.
on
You're the coach.
I understand, Reese, okay? It's fine. Just get to our level, guys, okay?
So, is there anything else we need to say about Reese's team? Like, he's got a security gate for his stadium, which I think he's quite happy with, preventing riot and pitch invasion. I don't think anyone can complain with that. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's super good. Yeah, let's keep moving on. Oh. It's White Line.
Oh, surprisingly. A team that everybody loves or loves to hate, it's interesting. Picked up a few little injuries here and there through his through the playoffs and possibly any spin. No, he wouldn't have played any spin games, would he? No, he's played 1. Played 1. But yeah, what can we say about this team that hasn't already been said before? Lurdnor, our Lord and Savior. All elves should emulate Lurdnor. Look at him. He's such a nice character. He's a nice piece. Living dangerously with these armor 6 linemen, though, isn't he?
He is, but it's like I just said, eventually they're going to die and just be replaced. It's like, it's no big deal. Yeah, I think my favorite thing, like a question of whether or not to replace or not is, was it Chestnost? That has,
Chestnost, the movement busted.
The double movement busted thrower. That thrower should be a, movement 7. Instead he's only like movement 5. He just slows an orc at this point. So...
Yeah, but he's better at passing the ball than an orc anyway, so like... I like him. He's giving Morka a 4-3 role. He can pass the ball reliably. Morka's got the 4 catches. I don't mind. Even though he's only movement 5, I think he's still a good piece. I think he still has a place in this team.
just trying to do the math in for Blood Bowl 2. He is throwing long bombs on a 2+, isn't he?
Pass, accurate, strong arm.
No,
I think
that's
so.
3+.
Something like that, yeah.
That's 3+, I think.
He's good. He's good.
It's 3+ still?
That's a 3+ long bomb, yeah.
It's 3+ with a reroll.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take those odds.
Yep.
He's a good pick. I like him. I still think he's good. And like Morka likes to score quickly, and like, so he's either got the option of like hanging back, passing long, and then scoring, or should the need arise, hang back. If you don't have the option to score quickly, hang back, reposition, get in, throw the ball, get in and score. Like, it's a good piece.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if actually we would start building up a second thrower next to him at some point, just to be able to replace Chestnut at some point.
Yeah, that's true too.
But the question is, normally it's like he needs the money to replace his lineman, which just armor busted and just die. So
yeah, it's
I
that.
think
like
the mighty blow was niggled. Yeah, then the mighty blow was niggled as well.
Yeah, but as you say, like you keep them till they die. And then you've got Mighty Branch, a treeman that all treemen aspire to be, guard and block. So
Yeah, it's
he's
pretty
traveling along
hilarious.
nicely.
Yeah.
Mighty Branch has done some funny things in the time since I've been watching.
Oh, it's done funny things the entire time.
But like, if you think about Wood Elf teams, especially like you sort of go two Wood Elf teams that I would like to potentially emulate. You've got Morka's team, the White Line, or Anarian with that fucking. I'm just gonna pick my skills, Wood Elves. But like, if you can emulate White Line, you're doing things right. Like the game is going to go right for you as long as you can emulate Morka's skill. You measure up to Morka's skill. His team is it's such a nice team.
Yeah, they
It
both
has the
have
pieces it
similar
needs,
styles
yeah.
as well. Marker and
They do,
Anarian,
they do.
making that they're both like very quick to score. It's just fun to watch a coach like that. Instead of just trying to go for like a 2-1 grind, he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna score like 5 touchdowns this game.
Yeah, and those are exciting games to watch. But yeah,
it's
like
the Narian way of playing Wood Elves, which is always kind of funny.
yeah, I really like this team, and he got a bit unlucky in his final match there in the playoffs, but not to take any credit away from his opponent.
So
go on, Tomo.
yeah, it always kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like I've watched Marker play a lot of times, and they always describe the way that Marker plays as like an Aryan. And in a way, though, I think that's a little bit of a disservice to Marker, really, because he's been playing Blood Bowl for a hell of a long time. He's kind of he's developed his own style and everything the way that it's going. Marcus Liam's dad. He's not like a kid. Like he's someone that's he plays his own style. He's played Blood Bowl for a hell of a long time. He's just developed and everything himself. So in a way, I would say like I always describe it as like he has a similar style to an Aryan.
Yeah.
But like the way that everyone says he plays like an Aryan, to me almost does a disservice to the development that Marcus kind of put into his own game. So
I can completely understand what you're saying there. I think it's probably very true too. Like they have as you say, they both have very similar styles of play. Don't know what else to say. Morka is one of those coaches who save money on doing quite well. He's just got to watch out for all these injuries and niggles and whatnot. But I'm sure he'll look at replacing those when the time comes anyway. So
I think both of them are just pretty much just like they're going to be standing on the line of scrimmage, taking hits, and then shrugging with their shoulders and say, "Okay, next one."
Oh no, they died. Oh no, whatever shall I do?
And I don't mind that doing with a rookie or actually with a one-skilled lino. I kind of find it as soon as you get 2 skills on there, it becomes just kind of a TV waste because you're just chucking 40,000 extra or 40 TV on the line extra, which is not needed. Yeah,
it's sort of what else, like, especially because their players are so expensive to begin with. You sort of have to cycle some players, and those players are generally linemen fairly ruthlessly. So, but Yeah, no, I expect big things from Morka. A coach who knows what he's about and knows how to play his team. And as I said, like his games have been entertaining to cast, So I always look forward to a Morka match.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So moving on to the last team in Div 1.
Shadow Hill.
The Shadow Hill Cowboys. Yep.
Who would be probably praying not to play against Morka and getting 3 blitzes against them.
I can't believe that Brunner's got another movement on it. When did he get that? Like, it's just like, what?
I'm not sure.
I think during the spin games.
Couple of skill ups to process. Potentially just waiting to see who he plays against first match. But
he was talking about in Discord getting that blitzer leap.
The agility 5 blitzer.
The strength 4 blitzer.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you said it'd be a scary piece, wouldn't it? Strength 4 with leap, moves into a cage. Yeah. Negate a couple of the corners, and then you're not even you're basically going to be at parity if not getting 2 dice up. That's a scary piece. I mean, what do we say about Sandjune's team that we haven't anytime you cast Sandjune, he plays a very methodical game. He knows what he's doing. He controls the game, as well as he can. His team, it's really well built. He's got skills basically everywhere. Like nearly every piece has dodge. Quite a lot of them have block. He's got the tools. He's got all the tools he needs. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he does it.
Yeah.
Like the only times you really see Sandjune lose is he gets a little unlucky. He doesn't make too many mistakes.
Yeah, Morka's a great coach, and just to get in order for Morka to beat him, you saw what we had to have happen.
Yeah,
like that type of stuff happening. It's the type of thing you're just like, okay, yeah, it just wasn't my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a team like this,
started against me.
A team like this is kind of built to minimize the amount of dice that can go against you. And it's something that I really like, because you can't always count on the dice going your way. So at least kind of minimize how much they can come against you. So I think that's what Dark Elves are good at, and I really like seeing teams like that.
And you couple the skill choices, as you say, to minimize the amount of dice that are going against you. Couple that with the Dark Elves aren't even Sandjune's first Blood Bowl love, as it were. As far as I understand it, Sandjune is a bit of a bash coach at heart. So he certainly knows, from the other side, he knows how the bash coaches are playing. He knows how that game's being played, and now he's building a team that goes, all right, I'm going to leverage my skills and my game knowledge to avoid letting that happen to me. So, it's a very good team. Anytime Sandjune plays, I think for the most, a lot of people would say he's going to be the favorite to win that match. And he's got the results to back him up too with that sort of call. So, I'm very excited to see what comes out of Sandjune and the Shadow Hill Cowboys this season.
Yeah, definitely one of the top 2 favorites to win the league again. Easily.
But
my guess it's either way going to be Sandjune, Morko, or actually, if Papa gets good dice against them, and just literally battles his way to the top.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, I think Munoscada, you kind of you alluded to this earlier. This Div 1's going to be 2 different divisions almost. You've got the guys in the top half who are going to be fighting to win the league, and then you've got the guys in the bottom half that are going to be trying to secure their own kind of team and try and secure their place in the league. So it's going to be quite interesting, from those 2 different standpoints. But I'd be very surprised though if there was a team kind of that was just promoted to this league that somehow managed to give the guys at the top a bit of a run. Yeah, that would surprise me.
Look, I can understand why. I can understand your feelings that way, but the teams that got promoted. Let's have a look. You got West Seas Wolves, you got Tartars, you got Walk Machine, Crush Ravena, and yourself, Tomo. I still think that in amongst that group of coaches, there is that potential there. I think there's a decent amount of potential there to crack in and have a good chance at getting through.
The newcomers
yeah.
The newcomers coming up are really good.
Yeah. Like Wesley's going to have to sort of focus in on his game a little bit more. Miriscatu, I think, there's not much I can say that you do wrong. You play the game quite well.
Until I get tilted.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think if you can avoid some casualties on your Saurus, you'll be doing quite well. Walk Machine I didn't get to see too much of last season, but, they're not a bad team. And Lascaris he's a competent coach. He knows what he's doing. He'll just, his team is shaping up quite nicely to give people a bit of a run for their money. Crushevania, same sort of thing. The team there has got enough points going on the progression. It'll be a key choice of key skills where they go as to how he performs. And yourself, Tomo, you're in that boat as well. I don't think there's a bad coach in Div 1. Some unlucky teams, sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad coach. I just think, the development gap's going to be a little bit too big this season. Yeah, as Papa's kind of just said in chat there.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy run for the new coaches. Let's not make any sort of jokes about that. But the potential's there. 5 new coaches into the Division 1, and I think any one of those 5 could see themselves at the top of the ladder, or in that top 3 spot. So, best of luck to everybody.
Definitely, it's going to be definitely an interesting league. Yeah. But normally for the new teams, it's first games if they come up against all the or the most unluckiest draw for a new team would be literally playing the 5 developed teams first, and then the 5 other teams in the second half of the league.
Yeah.
Where you go in and you play your first games 400 or actually 500, 600 CV down every single time.
Yeah.
Which just means you have 5 games ahead of you where you're just hoping that your players on your team survives and doesn't come out at the end out of a meat grinder.
Yeah. But I think Division 1 is especially a division where anyone can take it. Certainly there are going to be potential, certainly there are going to be some favorites. I think as we've said, Sandune, Morka, probably big favorites for this division. I would rate Papa Nasty's chances with his as long as he can get back to where he should be. Reese's Ravens, Praetorians, again, another fine team, another great coach. Capital Rats, it's going to be a good division to watch. I think there's going to be some great games coming out of this division, and I look forward to casting them. So,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think that's us done with all the different divisions now. And does someone have a quick look at the bounty board, or are we just gonna?
The bounty board's a mess. Lark went and bountied 16 players. Your brother Tomo went and bountied 3, and then I put one on Carlo Gorgonzola just because there's only one Lord and Savior, and his name is Lonor. So, but I do like how Lark's written down $20 voucher, pizza, game, or porn, or Disney for the kids directly at Liam. But yeah, so as I see it, Big O has been filled up the bounty board. Other divisions, other areas, regions, get your ass on this. I want to do a bit of a bounty board coverage thing in the underpitch, which is returning for this season. So,
and I think the Lark found everything that has claw, if I recall it correctly.
Yeah. Everything that could potentially screw him over in the next season or 2. But yeah, other than that, I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to casting a lot, some of the games. It's gonna be good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it looks like that's us done for this recap, or this preseason preview, I should say. I just want to say a shout out to all the Big O coaches. This season's going to be amazing. Keep an eye on your inboxes. I'm going to be sending out some questionnaires and things at some point. If I can't get them done in the preview like we've done here, hopefully, it'll give you some stuff to talk about with your teams as we're going through the season. I know we're going to be keeping a better eye on the amount of times we cover each team this season compared to last season, so it doesn't turn into a bit of a mess again. We want to make sure that everyone has their little time in the spotlight. Yeah, so just want to thank everyone that came on today for joining us. Liam's already away, so I can't ask him. But Crusader, you too. Thanks very much for coming. Where can we
No
find more
problem,
of your
man. Thanks for having me.
content? Anything you want to plug or anything while you're here?
Well, I mean, like, I think most people who have watched have followed me over on Twitch. Big thank you to you guys over at twitch.tv/unholycrusader. That's pretty much where I do most of my content. I am looking to push things out to YouTube. It's just a bit of a hassle, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Underpitch is returning, so look forward to the first issue of that coming in the next few days. Just got to finish getting some ideas together for a bit of content there. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone who has followed myself, and give Tomo a follow if you haven't done so, because Tomo puts out some quality content himself.
Awesome, thank you, and thanks very much to Mirascado too. Where can people find you, Mirascado?
Actually, pretty much nowhere. I just lurk or become co-caster somewhere else. And only thing I have to plug is head over to Crusader channel later today for some fun D&D and some halfling throwings and other shenanigans.
Yes, indeed.
I must admit, I'll be checking that out. I'm kind of intrigued. So
yeah, look, it should be a bit of fun. We've got an eclectic collection of personalities, one might say. So
yeah,
I give it about an hour and a half before it devolves into I want to kill my comrade, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever, so be it.
okay, so everyone, yeah, that's your Big O Season 6 preview done. Yeah, everyone, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, stay tuned to all of the Big O kind of Twitch channels. We're going to have a lot of content coming out this season. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And we're done.
Oh, I could stretch my ass cheeks.